Well, I want to do something a little different tonight.
Go ahead.
And what that is, I have a person that put something in the comment section about Pookie and Ray Ray.
Okay.
And I have emailed the ladies in the panel,
Okay.
and they will be joining us. And we're going to dissect what we believe that email, or sorry, that comment says, what it speaks to us.
Okay. Was it in the chat or was it in the comment section?
It was in the comment section of a video of yours.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, okay. You'll probably tell me which one it is because if it's about Thugs, Pookie, and Ray Ray, I mean that one. I think that one had like 600 comments, so I couldn't tell you which one it is. And,
Well,
and some of the ones, no,
I
it's
will
okay.
email you the
You, you,
person who it is. I want to make that person anonymous because
oh, and it's
they,
okay. You don't have to tell me because hopefully I didn't delete the comment if it was that bad. Because I've been deleting comments, stupid comments, because that's the only thing about hot topics is that it takes a long time. I have to continually go through the comment section and sift through it to keep idiots out or keep people from embarrassing themselves.
ah,
So as well, I'm sure I probably didn't delete his if you're still reading it. I try to let
okay,
as much through as I can, but sometimes dudes get beside themselves. Well,
okay.
you know how women get with certain topics, women get triggered and they get stupid.
I can understand that.
I think this is one of them for men.
Oh, wow.
But go ahead. Well, tally ho, mistress. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and get it started if that's what you want.
Okay, well, I've sent the link
What is
to
that's
the
Rom? So
lady.
there's the field master.
And as far as Rom, let's see, I might have.
No, no, he's in already.
Oh,
There he is right there. He's in already.
hello, gentlemen. Hello
Hey,
there.
what's up?
Hello, Uncle Rom. How are you?
Can you,
What's good, people?
can you hear
Hey,
me?
we can
What?
hear
Yes.
you. Yeah. Hey, real quick, Rom, Rom,
Yeah.
what's
Can you
wrong
hear
with you?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? You got me?
Yeah.
Okay. What's wrong with your boys?
Huh?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I said, what's wrong with your boys, man?
Which ones?
Anytime you mention Thug, Pookie, and Ray Ray, man, they good and they have like mental Tourette's, man. They just flake out all over the place. What's wrong with them, man?
You know what? It's just that perception that Pookie and Ray Ray getting all the women, or at least all the fine ones anyway.
Mm,
But, it's like one of those things. You see, that's what you see.
yeah,
But really, the dudes getting the women, they kind of low key about it. In fact, you might never ever see them getting a woman or with a woman, but they got about 5 or 6 in rotation because they keeping everything discreet. And that
yeah,
depends on where they are. Like if they kind of in the hood, they might be the regular dude
yeah,
who women just think is sexy or something,
yeah,
and they got a 9 to 5 job, they
yeah,
working
yeah,
because they're going to be discreet. They going to be, or some going to be discreet, and they just got sex appeal. Others, they're going to be, some dudes, like you said, some dudes doing something with their lives. And then it's also a class thing
yeah.
because that's one of the perceptions. Like, you're going to have these beautiful women who going to mess with some Pookie or Ray Ray. I'm like, nah, those beautiful women,
They go up.
especially if they
They,
got an education, are
they go. They
picky.
go. Well, they go up. They go up. I was just telling one of my subs. He was talking about we go to school, and we get the degrees in Kerry Washington. We think we're gonna get a Kerry Washington, and she's not nowhere to be found. I said because she's dealing with the masters of the universe, man. She ain't, but she's not on your level.
Exactly. Exactly. And see, I'm gonna tell you what, I've dealt with all social classes like that.
Uh huh.
Trust me, that master of the universe is
Mm,
getting his. Trust me.
oh
They
yeah.
some of the biggest players. I know some dudes, I mean, they'll have the suits because they got two things. Usually they're gonna be in decent shape,
Yeah.
women gonna think they fine,
Yeah.
and they
And they,
got money.
and,
That's
and,
like the jackpot for women.
and, and,
Seriously,
and,
that's the
and,
jackpot.
and plus they got charisma. That's how come they're successful in the first place. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Ron?
That's the thing. And
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
like Yeah,
Okay.
I can. May
Uh-oh.
have to mess with this thing a little bit.
Okay. It might.
Can you hear me? I'm still
Yeah, I can
here.
hear you. Are you on a wireless or something like that? I mean, a wireless connection, Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be it. All right. Yeah, but yeah, that's the whole
No, but
thing. Go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say because since seeing it from all angles
Mm-hmm.
and seeing how like the people at the higher level, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna be ratchet. They're gonna be quiet. There's gonna be exclusive parties,
Mm-hmm.
both public exclusive parties where somebody can maybe come off the street accidentally, and
Mm-hmm.
then some private parties, that sexual underworld.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and also too with women, a lot of women, especially you got education or something, what they going to do with Pookie and Ray Ray unless he look like Jeremy Meeks,
Yeah.
Prison Bay.
Yeah.
They not going to deal with him, and even then, they might say, "Act like you don't know me if you see me out in public."
Yep.
And I think a lot of dudes, they want to blame something else instead of looking at themselves in the mirror and say, okay, what can I do?
Yeah.
Because my feeling is this: if it's between me and Pookie to get that fat butt woman,
Mm-hmm.
well, Pookie going to be short. I'm like, sorry, Pookie. Nah, Pookie,
Yeah.
you better get the neighborhood dummy. You might have to get that easy woman in the neighborhood, which a lot of Pookie and Ray Rays do anyway. They share women.
They do.
They find the one or two women with everybody,
Yeah.
including some of the women,
Yeah.
and they share. They pass her around. They just got different stories.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Meanwhile, you get some Armani suit wearing dude.
Mm-hmm.
He got women coming up on the private elevator.
Mm-hmm.
He making love in his big old bed. Then he sends them away just in time for the next one.
Hey.
And in fact, they showing up at the Armani Suits Brothers thing.
Yeah.
They showing up with a trench coat and heels and underwear, and that's it.
Yep. Oh, hey, or this. He's going from city to city, and he got one in every city. So he might go on business, and he might hit 10 cities. And guess what he's doing in all them 10 cities? He got one or two in every city.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or
exactly. You got some cats like that.
Oh yeah. Or the you get these upscale dudes, and they'll get the upscale women, and they'll meet somewhere. Say they'll meet in Houston, or they'll meet in Puerto Rico, or they'll meet in Puerto Vallarta or something like that, where they'll travel, and a gang of women will come into a one location. A gang of upscale guys come in one location. They'll just keep swapping off on each other. So it's so what I'm saying is what so-called classic ELs, they don't know the game. Okay, there's a class of women.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a class of women.
And well, you know what? And it's not so much against them, but it's just a matter of a lot of people just don't know.
No.
You can't go by just what you see, like on some videos and stuff. In fact, I was talking with I give him a shout out, Kevin Samuels, about that. That was a world I'm used to, or used to be used to. Only reason I'm not out of it for spiritual reasons. I mean, you see the Giyami I wear, so that gives you an idea.
Yeah.
So I don't really deal with that world too. If I wanted to, I would have to kind of change my image a bit. I'd have to haircuts.
Yeah.
Maybe my wardrobe, change the car.
Yeah.
And even my speech intonation on some of these videos, if I still did them, would have to change.
Yep. Yeah.
Just to deal in that world. There's a uniform in that world.
There's a uniform in that world. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a hierarchy. There's a game that you got to play. It just depends whether you want to play it or not.
Exactly.
I mean, this is just black. We ain't talking about going cross culture, across ethnicities, where that's a whole different world in itself.
I'm gonna tell you what, and see, this is why I say the things I do. I've lived and worked in DC. I grew up in DC. Got political connection. I got a brother who's a political strategist. If I ever need a job, all I had to do is track him down. I don't even have to track him down, just text him. Right? When you deal in that political world, and this is probably the political world in any city or something, it's a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different dynamic. You know, the alphas there isn't some dude like on the block.
Mm-mm.
You know, these powerful men, when you deal with these powerful men and women,
Mm-hmm.
it's something totally different. And that's what a lot of women, if they even get a whiff of that, they trying to go for that.
Yeah,
Even the women ain't into that.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Well,
give
let
you.
me just say this. Even
Okay,
the
go
women
ahead.
are into that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I
Well, I was going to
go-
say, even the women who may not be in those worlds, you know, they still, look, they want a hardworking dude who can pull the mattress into the living room every now and then. A little bit of like wildness to him, just a little bit. Not a pookie, like somebody could switch it up in the bedroom or something every now and then. A lot of women are good with that.
Yeah. I was just going to tell you a quick story, man, about the, in the conscious community. Remember right after the LA riots and all that stuff that was going on? Now you would think that the gang bangers and the gang leaders are so-called the alpha males of the community, and they run shit. Okay.
Yeah.
They got called into, you probably you in the community, so I'm saying you probably heard this story.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the top churches in LA. I'm sure you know the church I'm talking about. In LA.
Yeah, which church was it? I think I heard something. Now,
yeah, but anyway, the pastor, the bishop of this particular church called all these, the shot callers and all of all the black gangs, right, into a room, and he closed the door. Man, he cussed all them niggas out. He told them that they was fucking up the community. And he told them, if you didn't stop doing what you're doing, you're gonna be gone. Okay. So in other words, that's real power. Okay. So you think you mad at
power.
That's power. You think Mook Pookie and Ray Ray and thugs actually run the community? No, they don't.
No.
They don't.
No.
Okay. They don't.
No. Because I'm gonna tell you what, in DC,
in
DC, when I was rolling in that crowd, and people were talking about Marion Barry, for some reasons I can't get into, I sat in on a meeting with the real power brokers in DC. It ain't Congress. And I sat in on it. And that wasn't even the highest level. That was just some of them. And there were some brothers in there, but there were some white men too. And their whole mindset is different. When you deal with that, that's the real power.
It's real power.
That's the real power. Those the dudes. Ultimately, if you can be on the outskirts of that, that's where you really going to get women. So when people say Pookie and Ray Ray, I'm like, y'all really don't know.
They don't know.
Y'all really don't know.
They don't know. They don't know.
And
so
you want to go. It's like the classic man can actually get things done. He can do things. He can but he has to have confidence, because like you said, and like in any woman in here, they could tell you what they going to do with a man who's scared of another man. Like this other man going to do it. Women don't want to hear that. Women want to hear a man look her in the see a man look her in the eye, grab her hand, and say, "Baby, I got this. Come on.
It's gonna be okay."
I'm about to take.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
That's it.
Yeah, an old man told me that when I was in my mid-20s, I was having trouble with my woman. He said you grab her by the face, look her in the eye, and say, "Baby, it's gonna be okay. I got this."
Exactly.
And that's what she wants to hear, especially before you close your eyes at night. You do that, that's really what she wants to hear.
Yeah, and that's it. And see, I'm gonna tell you why. That's why I went again. That's why I had a problem with this whole thug thing. I can't stand it because I'm doing some coaching and stuff. And every time somebody bring it up, I'm like, why are you scared of that? Look, that woman's probably checking for you more than she's checking for Pookie and Ray Ray, unless that woman is on that level.
On that level, exactly.
And even then, I have met women who are in the hood. They might have dealt with like Pookie or Ray Ray, or even grew up around them, or even had enough sense not to deal with them. I know some women who grew up around Pookie and Ray Ray. They were cool with Pookie and Ray Ray, but sometimes Pookie and Ray Ray say, "You know what? You know what? You got to do better than us." Or they'll say, the woman will say, "You know what? I got to upgrade." I've met a lot of women out of the hood who trying to upgrade.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, they want that classic man or something. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they would, you know, they
Well,
be
they,
some
they,
cultural communication issues.
yeah, because they done had they in other words, just like you have the woman wake up call, especially if you in the hood, that you ain't about that
Mm-hmm.
life. And I actually said that one
Mm-hmm.
time about chicks, especially
Oh
back then
boy.
in them days, the dealing with the, you know, with dealing with the D boys, and they were cool with it, thought it was fun until they get that wake up call when they
Yeah.
run into a situation that they didn't expect, and
Exactly.
they saw that their lives flash before their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So and then you know they tap, I'm out, and they never go back. That's why I you know they never go back. So I said, if you deal with a chick like
Yeah.
that, and she's been with D boys, you ask her, give me the story. Why you out? And if she's truly out,
Mm-hmm.
she'll tell you exactly what the story was. Exactly what the story was.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, a lot of see one thing. See, here's my thing too. Here's
Mm-hmm.
my thing.
Yeah,
I
and
cry sometimes. No,
we gonna let.
seriously, I literally cry sometimes when I
Uh,
see how many sisters
mm,
are like decent skin, like that 100 octane,
yeah.
which actually know a few. I was talking with one last night.
Mm,
They that 100 octane. They might be the 92s. They
yeah.
might be the 89s.
Yeah.
It's so many sisters out here who would eat up a classic man. But see, the classic man, too many classic men are looking at that 85.
Yeah.
You
Because
know,
she
they checking out for the 85 because she
because
got that fat ass.
and she easy. Let's be honest. Let's keep it on. Keep
Exactly.
the buck. She easy. That's what it is. But most guys don't want to
Exactly.
admit that. No, man, I like the woman to take my time. And man, please get the fuck out of here. You know
Well, you know what the problem is with that?
what's
Some
that?
dudes need to just be honest and stuff.
Yeah.
We gotta be honest. It was like, look, you know, we want the pussy. It's like we try to pretend like, oh, we're gonna wait and stuff. If that woman came up to you and say, you know what, I'll suck your dick right now or something, shoot, the man would be like, okay, I don't care who he is.
Yeah. Look over his shoulder, make sure he ain't getting set up first. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know some dudes who would tell me how they read the Bible and they doing all this, and then in another sentence and stuff, talk about what they want to do to a particular woman. Like they can't wait to tear her up and stuff. I'm like, come on, just admit that you want to fuck.
Yeah.
All right, and you want the easy woman because one
Yeah.
thing, there's a lot of women out there, they want to get down too, but they want to have a little bit of sense with it. Unless, of course, they're dealing with me, then they want to go right away. But that's me. I'm special. But, you know, the rest of them,
You ain't shit,
the
boy.
rest of them, I mean, you know, the rest of them, shoot. And see, dudes, I mean, look, if you're going to be, people like, you know, they hit me up for game and stuff, you got to
Yeah.
be confident. You can't be, shoot. You put me in a room full of Pookies and Ray Rays, and you can put me in a room with 10 Pookies. You can put me in, you can have 10 women in there, fine women. And I'll just say, damn, I feel bad for all these Pookies. None of these women want to talk to them. They bothering me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my attitude too. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I will compete with you. I don't give a fuck. Go ahead.
And then they want to fight. And that's the whole thing. Then they want to fight because they're mad.
Yeah, but you know what, though?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, man. Tell you what, I have this a story, man, because I, you know, younger and stuff, playing some pickup basketball, right? I remember this brother, probably one of the most thorough I ever seen. This dude was like a PhD candidate, you know, hit the gym real quiet.
Yeah.
He playing with like a Pookie that was twice his size too, right? And this dude tried to punk the PhD guy, and he just looked at him. He didn't say a word. He just looked at him, man. Pookie packed back down, man. You got some. See, one of the things people forget, and even some Pookies forget, a lot of these classic men, a lot of these upper echelon men played sports too.
Yep.
They run ball too. They box.
Yep.
Everything. You know, some of them got in fights too. Some of them, hey,
you had
seriously,
to.
they be
some. You had
to. And let's be real. Yeah, I'm gonna put all y'all Kappas, Alphas, and Qs on spot. Y'all probably fuck up some Crips or something in the depending on where you're at. Shoot, it's just a gang on a college, man. That's all it is.
Oh yeah.
But it's the same thing. A man is still a man, no matter what. So, you know, you don't really, don't look, nah, forget that.
Yeah.
Stop making the excuses. Stop with the cop out, and that's what it is a cop out. I'll tell anybody that it's a cop out.
Yeah.
You
The,
know,
the
don't
ladies,
blame. Look,
ladies, you can get in anytime you want to. Me and Ron was just chopping it up, and if it was just me and Ron, we'd be chopping it up for hours. Me and the field master. So
yeah, that's
you guys
true.
can jump in at any time.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I'm glad to know that.
yeah, but
Yeah. Go ahead, Ron.
but here's the thing, though. It's like as men, we gotta stand up. We can't be acting like punks. Seriously, a woman. I can't. I don't know any woman that like finds that attractive, regardless of culture. And don't think anybody. I'm gonna say this to the brothers. Don't think you going, because I know some checking this out. Don't think you going overseas and they're respecting that shit either. They
No.
probably harder on a man. And the fact, a lot of times, a lot of brothers going overseas messing with these women, they slick. They know the game. They'll give them the girlfriend experience until the money runs out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let that debit card get declined or something and see how they doing.
Mm-hmm.
But as men, you can't have any fear of any competition or something. And even the men who say, "Well, I shouldn't have to compete." You always have to compete.
They always got to compete. They always got to compete.
Always have to compete.
And only way you gonna get confidence is to get out there.
Exactly. It's like, come on, no Pookie in the shit. Please. You know how many Pookies I done punked in life or made them cry or something? Because especially some young ones, I just told them, because I don't give a fuck. Yes, man, you can't give a fuck. Excuse my French, ladies. But my thing is,
worse than that, dude.
so much we can do. Shoot. Yes. Oh, I see we got Storm up in here. I see you, girl.
Oh, there's a lady. Jump in. You guys can just jump in.
Well,
what's good, Rom? I have never spoken to you on any Hangout, but you know, I used to comment on your videos and stuff, man. It's good to talk to you.
All right. Thanks, sis. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, sis. For the ladies, I'm gonna be quiet because I'm talking, and I ain't gonna be on here all night because you know I'm gonna go to bed, come back, and y'all still on here. But what y'all think about all this?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we wanted to talk about, but I was going to do it in a different fashion. If you look into on the side there in the group chat, I put a comment there. Someone wrote a comment under one of the videos this week.
Yeah, just should be a box, a group chat box. It's right at the top.
I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, and we were going to respond to that. We were going to look at that and determine what type of guy that is, and if we would be attracted to that person.
I want to hear this. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna listen to this because look. Well, hold on. Before I do that, I mean, one of the things, just in general, and this is a good thing. The brothers and sisters need to just get together, have raw conversations, and we need to just listen to what we each other saying. So I'm gonna sit back. If I make funny faces, that's because I'm texting somebody and making them laugh or something. I'm always doing something extra.
No, well,
so that'll be it.
Hey, Rom, you're probably getting one of them goddamn candy grams like Officer Charles gets, man. You get that midnight candy striper to come through.
Candy gram for Mongo.
Hey, look at it. Yeah, he got one. You're looking at the phone now. He got a candy gram coming through. What time, Rom? After 12? What is it? Yeah, okay.
yeah. We got a few.
All right. Oh, go ahead, ladies, jump in.
Okay. With this comment, I'll read it, and I'll go first. And this is a response that was under one of your videos about Pookie and Ray Ray.
Which one? Which one was it? Which video was it?
I really didn't want to say because I don't want anyone to go look and see who.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah, not yet anyway. So the person was talking to this particular person and say, "Hey, dude, you should do a video about these Pookie and Ray Rays." And this is his response.
Calculated. We'll get to you. We'll get to your questions later. Just bring your question up later because the ladies are on right now. So even though you you had a super chat, but I'm saying is this ladies hangout, and just bring your question up later. I don't want to interrupt the flow. Go ahead, Char.
Okay. And the comment says, I'm trying to stay away from the turd flinging, but the chest beating from Pookie Ray Ray calling themselves alpha and putting down other brothers they call betas need to be put to arrest. There is a division among brothers that start in grade school. The betas are taking too many blows still. The Pookies have a long, unreconciled insecurity. Notice the shots mostly originate from their camp. As a kid, I thought the shots would end once we get older, but no such luck. If I can find a way to frame it to focus the fight, if not to avoid it altogether, I may tackle it. I know it would be against me. Against
the world. Yeah. It would be me against the world, though. I'm an old Aries. I try to avoid this stuff now, but I keep getting pulled into the ring. And we'll see. I said, we'll see. Then again, I may just stick to making trading video. I know what it is. Trading videos and blowing off in comment sections regarding the other stuff. Meanwhile, we are getting worked over pretty good by Pookie, Big Booty Brenda, and a number of other educated professional sisters. I know who it is now, but go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. So when I read this, this particular guy, he keeps talking about the past when he was younger, and he's still suffering from that for whatever reason. He hasn't moved on. And as far as it seems like he's offended by people just talking about Pookie and Ray Ray. So it still bothers him till today. So looking at this type of guy, it's not attractive. It's not attractive at all, and I would pass him over.
Okay.
Now on the panel, what I did here, I called myself getting 2 people from each decade.
Okay.
2 50-year-olds, 2 40-year-olds, 2 30s, and 2 20.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my second 30-year-old did not show. Okay. So I have another 50-year-old. But we're going to work through here.
All right.
So that is my comments, and I'll let the next lady give theirs.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go. Okay. So I have a issue with this person going all the way back to grade school. At that person's age, I don't really understand why they're still focusing on something that happened in grade school. And one thing I will agree with them on is that there is a division amongst Black men, but my thing is that, like what BGS said last week, there are Pookies and Ray Rays of every, I guess, socioeconomic background of every race, and yet they focus mainly on Black men. So to me, it feels like a lot of these dudes pick on Black Pookie and Ray Rays because they have a problem with other Black men. That's just how I feel about that. And I really don't find that attractive to be focusing that much on other men. Like, if you're supposedly getting all these other better women, that's my thing.
Well, and I think my big thing is this, that at the end of the day, like, and I've been saying this in side conversations, but I like people who like me. I'm not looking for somebody who's out of my range, or even caring about who may or may not be in my range or not. So I can't really understand this whole concept that what they would really want, because that's really what, at the end of the day, what they're saying is, well, I want that beautiful chick, I want that 10, and she doesn't go for me, she goes for you. But the thing is, though, is that she's going for him not just because, oh, well, he dressed a certain way or he has a type of swag, but it's an entire concept. It's an entire life and lifestyle. Do you want to live that lifestyle? Do you want to have a girlfriend who wants those things? Because probably not. If you did, there's a good chance you would live in that life.
Hold on, Classic Ruby. I want to say something to the fellas, goddammit. This is BGS for women. You have your own hangout called Idmore on Saturday nights. Okay. Now, if you don't want to be here, if you guys don't want to be here, you don't want to mind your manners, you guys can leave now and check me out Saturday night. Okay. Okay. I formed, the ladies asked me to form this channel for them so they can say what they got to say in their own space. This is their space. Okay. If you don't want to, if I'm gonna start letting Char Willie just boot you guys out of here if you guys don't want to act right. Okay. Because it's not your space. Your space is on Saturday nights at 7:30, where you can say what you want to, and the ladies got to listen no matter what they think. Okay. It is what it is. Now mind your manners in this hangout. Otherwise, I'll start booting you out myself. All right, guys. Capiche? I'm not having this crap tonight. All right. Sorry about this. Start again, Ruby.
Okay. Yeah, but I just think at the end of the day, instead of worrying about some superficial standard of what you think the greatest woman is, why aren't you looking at the fact that those women likely are, just like those men, are living a life and are interested in things that you're not interested in, the life that you don't want to live. When I say I like men who like me, I mean as in we are in the same kind of social circles. We enjoy doing the same kind of things. We have the same kind of point of view on life and how we're going to live life and lead life and be happy living life. So I don't understand why they're spending so much time focusing on what anyone else has instead of saying, hey, I don't like any of those things anyway. And so there's a good chance that the women who like those things are not going to be my kind of woman. Hey, why don't I look at the women who like the things that I like to do and are kind of, dressing the way that I like to dress and going to the things that I like to go to, and maybe just look at that instead of looking at all the things you can't have, look at all the things that you can.
That it? Well, that was short.
Did you address just the letter?
Mhm.
That's what you read in the letter? I mean, the comment? That's what you got from it?
To be honest with you, that is what I get from all of this. It all comes down to, for me, at the end of the day, there was that ideal chick. We all had that back in the days when we were in grade school, middle school, high school. There was that really popular person, that person that everyone loved and everyone wanted to get. And it was never you that got that person. Maybe back in high school, yeah, okay, we kind of all enjoyed the same things. We all kind of whatever, but you're grown now. And so at the end of the day, still, it's reasonable to look at, grade school kids and see that they would do that because, kind of everyone wants to be popular. Everyone's forming an identity, but you've formed an identity now. And so have those women, those same women that you're idealizing and you're staring at and you're wanting and desiring, they also have an identity. And so do the men, the Pookies and the Ray Rays. Why are you bothering to care about what the Pookies and the Ray Rays are or are not and what they get or not? Instead of looking and saying, hey, well, if those girls go for Pookies and Ray Rays and I'm not one of them, then those girls probably won't be interested in me and I probably won't be interested in them. Forget the superficial part of it. I won't be interested in them. They're not going to make me a good wife or a good partner in life because you know what? They clearly have different interests than me. Focus on what is good for you.
I could tell you by having children by a woman that most Pookie and Ray Rays would absolutely adore and love, and even at her age, they still do. They ain't no joke, okay? They ain't no joke. And I tell you from personal experience, they ain't no joke. You done, Ruby? Is that it? Okay, who's next?
I think Regina wanted next.
I'm stunned, though, Ruby. I'm stunned.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You're starting right now. The night is still young. Okay.
It is still young. I gotta get it in to just like my daughter. Got to get it in though, Ruby.
I got the flu today. Okay, give me a break. I'm trying.
Oh, poor Cupcake, poor King Cupcake.
See, you did the whole Jamaican thing better than Angry Man does. So good on you for that. Poor Ting.
Poor King Cupcake. Oh, for sure. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Sure can.
Okay, so this is my very first time. So hello, everyone.
So what age group are you repping for, Regina?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat?
What age group are you repping for?
50 plus.
Oh, okay.
I will be
All right.
celebrating 52 years July 27th of this year.
We're in the bonus time.
Yes, yes.
He giving you stuff in the air in the background.
Yes. So, okay. So after reading this, I was like, somebody is confused. Somebody needs some help. And just as the young lady just mentioned, you're bringing up something. You're bringing up the past, and why not focus on where you are in your life right now? Where are you right now with what, as far as what women you're pursuing? Are you still looking for the big booty Brendas? Is that where you are right now? And if so, then acknowledge that, and maybe whatever you have going on, Big Booty Brenda isn't interested in that. You whatever you have going on, she's not interested because you're not entertaining. You're not bringing her in with whatever you have. What I look at life as is that we all have our stages and our phases in life. And growing up as the little nappy head girl from the west side of Chicago. I'm representing. And
Chi-Town represent.
Chi-Town represent. West side.
Oh, no, south side, okay? South
side, right.
Well, we're representing, and seeing that at that time, what I was interested in wasn't interested in me.
That's true. Yep, it happens.
So if that's the case, as an adult, maybe we need to reevaluate some things. Maybe if that's what's going on with him, I'm sorry, what's going on right now. If that's the case, yeah, we may need to take a step back and say, what am I really out here pursuing? And now at this point, especially in my life, Pookie and Ray Ray couldn't do anything for me right now, cannot bring even the high level Pookie Ray Ray right now brings no interest, none. Even on those days when she on fire like Haya. and I don't feel that. I'm just being honest. Right. I'm just being honest now.
Yeah.
There's nothing that individual could bring to the table for me other than that. And then, but after that, when the rollover is there, then what?
Hey, what is it? You make him a sandwich? And
you making a sandwich? Right. Can you get up and go?
Coffee to go?
Exactly. You want some water? Right. Here's a towel. Where's the towel? Something.
Hey, what is baby white? No towel.
With a baby white. With a baby white.
Don't even break that with no water.
Right. Okay. So that's my take. And I mean, I didn't even try to delve into any of the other issues. Public health is my field, and so is my background, and I saw a lot of other issues there, but that would need a whole nother segment. as Uncle Rom say, we'll be on here all night for real.
Oh yeah, I know. I know you got stories.
Yeah,
I know you got stories. Well, yeah, you just like cops, you got stories because you didn't see the you didn't see the bottom of the bottom come through.
Yeah.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
You can jump in, Phil Master.
It says you can't be calling me uncle and stuff. We close to the same age and stuff. So
I can't call you uncle. Okay, bruh. Okay, is bro okay?
Bro, you gotta call me.
Look,
yeah, bruh's okay. You got that dude right there with you?
I'm sorry.
That's talking to you. You got that dude right there?
Oh no.
Oh yeah,
You
well, we
good.
might be able to talk some other things too, sis. We talk some other
Okay.
things.
Now
All right.
Okay.
she wouldn't have been talking about the towelettes and the rollover if he was
Oh
next
yes,
to
I
her.
would have.
Oh,
Yes, I
would you
would
have?
have.
Oh, okay.
I'm very open, and because of the field that I'm in, I
Mhm.
talk about HIV and STDs. So I'm the wrong person to sit next to at any event and say, "So what do you do for a living?" I'm the wrong person.
One thing I said in one of my videos that and men took offense to. I said, as far as the baby mama thing,
Hmm.
and I said the only difference, well, the reason that Big Booty Brenda or Big Booty Keisha had a baby by Pookie and Ray Ray rather than Urkel or the Classic Man is that Urkel or the Classic Man used a condom, and
That's right.
that's the only
Hmm.
difference. But
That's right.
that's what guys don't want to talk
And
about.
wanted to treat her with some respect,
Hmm.
and those individuals were raised with the level of respect. I'm going to respect her enough
Hmm.
that I'm going to protect her and me.
Hmm.
You know,
But that don't mean they didn't. That don't mean that they didn't have sex with him or they didn't see him.
that's
And that's what a
right.
lot of the classmates don't want to admit. They don't want to say it. They don't want to admit it.
So true.
They don't admit it. You got more sis or
I'm good. I'm
uh,
good. I'm in listening mode now.
all right. Who's next? Who's next?
Hey,
I'll
hey,
go.
sis.
Go jump in,
Hey,
Rom.
sis. I'll holler at you later.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll holler at you later. All
he wants some
right.
he wants some stories. He
You,
wants some stories, boy.
no problem.
He wants some stories. I know what Rom up to. Rom wants some stories, boy. Rom, I said Rom is a storyteller. he said, oh, she got stories. I want to hear some.
Oh yes.
I know. Hey, Rom, you ain't slick, man. You ain't slick. But yeah, you hit him up, Regina. Hit him up.
Will do. Will do.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
do.
guys so
All
much.
right.
Who's
All
next? Who's next?
right.
Char.
I'll go next.
All right, go ahead, baby.
Okay. This is Nawal Black Swan, representing 50-year-olds.
Oh, okay.
And um, brother needs some Midol and some roses. He is too much in his feelings.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
Oh,
he
Oh my
took it.
goodness.
He went so far back. That is something a woman would have said. I remember back in elementary school, they used to
Yeah.
tease me because I
Yep.
had nappy
Yep.
hair, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah.
Yep.
speak, sister.
Yep. That's what we
And
hear
then
all the
here,
time. Yeah, we hear it all the time amongst
you
women. So I
know,
said, yep.
he took something out of our manual and used it and put it on, put it in the comment section.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
honey, you need a hug?
hold on the wall, bruh. Okay, they're keeping your name out of it, but if you want to be known, you can let them know that you're the one that put the comment up. Because right now you're doing too much. All right,
Oh, did
he's in
I
the
did I hit
comment.
a nerve?
No,
Did I hit
what I'm saying is, well, he's
a nerve?
been hitting the nerve. The thing is, I want him to chill out. They keeping it anonymous, so, not to start on no kind of mud fight. Okay, but we're not gonna mud fight in here. If like I say, if Char Willie has permission to actually time you out or not or block you if you want to keep it up. All right, now chill out. Nobody's calling any names. Nobody's singling anybody out. If you feel some kind of way, you can voice your opinion tomorrow night on the men's section. We can do all of that. All right. But go continue.
I'll be nice then.
No, 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 no,
Um,
no, no, no. Ain't no be nice. Okay, because we don't enforce the guys to be nice on the air. No, give it to us. Give it to us raw. We want the real thing. Ain't no be nice.
Whatever
he
you
need,
thought in that letter, I need you to be honest so
Be
people
raw.
can
No,
hear that.
be raw.
he needs to go ahead and live past this. How many of us had that same situation when we had to deal with either colorism or we were poor and we were at schools with richer kids and we didn't have the name brand or whatever the case may be to make you feel insecure. I've had that for a long time and I've learned to move past that. I'm a dark skinned sister, as you can see, and I have natural hair. And yeah, and I got some poundage on me, but I'm beautiful in my own right. And I
Amen.
know I can pull whoever I want in my
Mm.
own right if I put my will to it. So You know, I don't even know who this gentleman is.
It doesn't matter. Don't matter, baby.
You know,
Just
well, no, I'm just
speak your
saying.
mind.
Basically, I'm just saying to him,
Mm-hmm.
if you know, and I hate to bring up this person's quote, but water seeks its own level.
Say it again.
High octane is not going to go for you, baby. But someone under, you know, just above you or right at your level, yeah, and she might be the best thing that ever walked on this earth for you. And us ladies have to see the same thing. Yeah, do I want a man with 6 figures?
Yeah.
No, I really don't.
No. I'm talking about back then. I'm not talking about now. Back then.
Yeah, back then I was the Pookie and the Ray Ray because they knew what they was doing behind closed doors.
Come on now.
Okay.
Come on now.
You know, that's my bad choices. That's how I got, you know, the 3 baby daddies because they knew what they were doing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The leg shaking, everything, huh?
Don't even know your name when you're done. Okay. You know now. Well, you know, some of y'all even know what's your name.
Yeah, go ahead, baby. No,
What's your name, baby?
Let's get back to the present now. Let's get back to the present.
Yeah, I had a flashback, dog.
I know you did. So we all did. Rom was wiping his brow, so he did too. So.
But what I'm saying is, you know, that was the Pookie and the Ray Ray. But the six figure man, no, because I would never be that woman to satisfy him. You know, he would never look at me in an adoring fashion because either I'm too below him, I'm not at his level. So I gotta have somebody who is making the high five, or you know, right there, or just hard working. You know, you're just hard working. You're the janitor at wherever, but you work. You coming in doing those 12-hour shifts, and we get along, and we talk, and we have the same interests. Yeah, and he'll probably be the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, dude needs to just go ahead and move on from that because he's missing out on a lot. He's missing out on a lot. There could be somebody right there in his face, but he's so worried about what happened when he was in kindergarten, he's missing out his opportunity. And that's all I have to say. I'm sorry.
Well, you got more. If you got more, go ahead, jump in. Go ahead,
let me say something real quick about this because what I tell men, especially in coaching and stuff, you got to just learn from that. You know, I've been rejected a whole lot. I learned from it. I was like, oh, I guess I shouldn't mess with that type of woman, or I shouldn't mess with her. And, you know, I really tell men, and men need to heed it, find your tribe. You're not meant to deal with every single woman anyway. Even some of the biggest players I know. One thing about players, womanizers, guys who get a lot of women, they know who they can get with and who they can't. They stay in their lane. People don't realize they don't be trying to holler at everybody. They wait for a woman to show some interest and then they go. Because that's how it's supposed to work anyway. A woman, she'll look at a guy, she'll just look. Because that's all she's supposed to do. A man's supposed to pick up on it and then make his move. And I'm gonna tell women don't approach guys.
That's right.
Don't approach guys.
Will not ever.
Yeah. Give him that look. Give him that look. If he can't pick that look, he ain't ready.
Look in a place.
Because if a woman look at me and she fine, or she give me a look and I get a feel good vibe. Oh, trust me, I'm gonna walk my way over there.
That's right.
Because y'all know how y'all do anyway, ladies, especially some of my older beautiful sisters on here, right? Y'all know how y'all do. Y'all make it seem like that we did something. You make it seem we approaching stuff. You saw us 6 months down the road and you said, all right, I'm gonna put myself in a position like you just happened to get coffee at that coffee shop. Yeah, you knew he was there because you clocked him. And then y'all let us stay. But I'm trying to tell men the game. I know it. Yeah, y'all laughing. Y'all saying, Rom, come on now. Come on. Y'all know it.
Go ahead,
but
Ron.
see, guys got to realize, find the women who are feeling you.
That's
Don't worry
right.
about it.
That's it.
Seriously.
Yeah, we got to put
that, brother.
If you want to be in another lane, you got to do something to put yourself in that other lane.
That's
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Ming.
So hold up, but this is I'm gonna jump in every now and then, but I'm gonna be quiet.
All right.
I'm gonna listen for a bit. I want to hear all the ladies on the panel.
So I'm just gonna speak directly to the person who wrote this, because he's already talked to in the comment section and wants to be known. It's pure his nature. It coincides with our first interaction on Brother X's channel, you know, and his Aries nature. You know, I have no problems with him. He's a very smart and articulate dude, which I've seen through the videos you've hosted on your channel. But one thing I also found out about him with our meeting and reading this is that he has a big misconception about anything street. He doesn't know anything about, from what I heard when talking to him on Brother X's channel and what he wrote in this, like he has absolutely no idea. I think the problem is that he wants a woman with some edge, but he doesn't speak the edgy language. And instead of trying to understand her better or understanding Pookie and Ray Ray's better to see why and then implementing it in his own personal strategy, as bright and articulate as he is, he chooses to bitch and point and finger point and blame. Like that's what I read when I heard that. We're talking to your inner child in a grown-up conversation. So of course alpha males appear to be beating their chest because you're still a child. You know, he also made a comment about how as a kid he thought that people would change. One thing I learned as a kid, when I was about 12 years old, I overheard my mother on the phone talking to her girlfriend from work, and they were gossiping. And the light bulb went off in my head, and I realized right then and there that young bitches become old bitches.
Yeah. Say it again, girl.
Young bitches become old bitches, and so do the hoes. They don't change. So what has happened is that everything around him has changed and he hasn't. And instead of just focusing on himself, he chooses to focus on everybody else. When the problem, when the reality of it is that nobody wants either of the two extremes. It's a sweet spot that you have to be able to sit in to be the most popular of them all. But you can't even get into the sweet spot because you don't even recognize that there is a sweet spot. So what I read was a bunch of bitching and complaining, and then looking in the comment section, hey, I'm all for you coming in and talking and defending yourself because this ain't a good look, bro. That's all I got.
What? Me?
All right. So I guess it's my turn to weigh in on it.
Out of Chicago women coming in. All right. Where you repping from, Kendra?
Oh man, I grew born and raised on the west side of Chicago, 61 and bit from the Mad Dog. You know what I'm saying? So that's hood right there. That's that hard hood too.
Man, what you say?
That's that hard hood.
Gonna represent, girl.
Man, all right. So the key words that stuck out to me in that comment was things like fight, their camp, their side. All of these combative verbiages. And my thing is, why are you fighting? Who you fighting? And fighting them for what? I don't understand the fight mentality. And then also, before I keep going, I'm going to dispel a few myths. Pookie and Ray Ray are not always the gangbanger, the drug dealer. That's not who he is. There, you know, there's a such thing as a blue collar Pookie and Ray Ray, right? I married one.
High class Pookies, yeah.
I married a blue collar Pookie. My husband grew up in the Henry Horner projects. You don't get no more Pookie and Ray Ray than that. All right. And he fought and scrapped and bullied and did all kind of stuff. And you know what? He never joined the gang because his older brother did it so he wouldn't have to. My husband was a blue collar dude. He was that dude that was going to go to work and come home. He was going to go out and do whatever he was going to do. He was going to come home. He wanted family. That was that guy. I never dated a thug a gangbanger or a drug dealer because I didn't want to be part of that life. I understood that was a different kind of lifestyle that I wasn't going to be good with. So I didn't do that. And when I got with him, what attracted me was that regardless of the fact that my husband had not had a single drop of criminal record anywhere, he had never been to jail or anything ever. And that's hard to do as a Black man in the hood of America. That's difficult. But he still was in touch with the basics of his masculinity. That's the attractiveness of Pookie and Ray Ray. He's in touch with his basic masculinity and his manhood. And the problem that a lot of these other guys who separate themselves from brothers who they assume are below them, okay, is he's mad because it's like, how is it that you're getting something that I can't seem to attract and I'm better than you? And that therein is the problem. Because why are you better than him? What makes you better? It's the same exact argument that women have when men ask, well, what does she bring to the table as a woman? And she started naming off degrees. She started naming off her possessions. She started naming off what school she went to, what car she drive, what kind of shoes she wear, what kind of clothes she wear. Yep. None of which has fuck all to do with what kind of woman she is.
Yep.
She can't tell you what she brings to the table as a woman. And men who are really looking for women don't give a shit what kind of school she went to. You don't care. This is the same exact argument. Just flip to the man's side. Well, I got a degree. I went to school. I did. But you can't tell me you can't bring your manhood to the table. And that's the problem. My husband brought his manhood to the table. I understood that even though he wasn't a real fiery kind of dude all the time, he would chill and he would lay back and he would do. I knew that if something happened with me, he was going to fight tooth and nail to the death about it. So much so that I would not even tell him about little altercations or somebody said something to me outside. It was minor because I learned early on in my marriage, I cannot say stuff that's minor to me was major to him. And he did not take it lightly. So I was like, okay, I can't tell him certain stuff, but it made me feel good because it made me feel protected. Not that I was going to go out in the street and just cause a bunch of shit so he would have to fight because I didn't want him hurt. But at the same time, I knew that he was 10 toes down. I knew that already. He wasn't no punk. Another thing, women judge men on how they move around other men. What I want with a man that's scared of other men? What I want with him? He got to be able to hold this thine own nuts when you around another dude. All right. You ain't got to be the biggest, baddest, whooping everybody's ass, but you need to be able to stand your ground when you around other dudes. If you wimping and cowering and, bowing down and shit like that, ain't nobody did nothing to you. You just hanging back and scared. I ain't checking for you. All right.
Your woman's stronger than he is.
Yeah, there's certain kind of, there's women out there for them that for those kind of dudes, but those dudes don't want those kind of women. But there are women out there that want that kind of dude.
Yeah,
there's women out there for them.
And that's one more thing, addressing the grade school thing, man. Look here, man. I wasn't no select female. I'm still not. You gotta work what you got. I was never gonna be that woman that all the men turn their heads. Oh, damn, she's a bad bitch. But I ain't never gonna do that when I step into a room. All right. But I'm gonna tell you what I do when I step into a room. That woman right there. That one is a
what you say.
That's what they say. Like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Not that I'm so bad physically necessarily, but it's that vibe I put out when I come through. I ain't playing no games.
Right.
And you can't step to me playing games. I already put that vibe out there. I like other shit. I'm a nerd. I like nerdy ass shit. I sit and do math homework by myself. All that kind of goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? But my womanhood is intact. And men understand that when they're around me. You just got to be confident in who you are.
That's right.
What's the saying?
Yeah. Hey, can I say?
Go ahead, Rom. Jump in.
Yeah, just real quick, I want to thank the sister for saying that about just the masculinity, because that's ultimately what it comes down to. One of the things that I say in my teaching is, you still got to be a man, and you still got to have that raw masculinity, even if you wear a suit and tie to work. That's why some people who watch my videos know I get pissed if I see like a man and a woman walking down the street, and the woman is to the outside closest to the curb. I get pissed when I see that, almost to the point I want to stop. A man is supposed to be to the outside, and I've had some dudes come back and say, well, they can fend for themselves. I'm like, fuck that.
No.
Fuck that. No, you a man no matter what the woman's about. I don't care if she's a hardcore feminist or something. You're a man.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be in that position. When you sleep in a room with a woman, you always closest to the door.
That's
always. And there's been some cases where I might have been uncomfortable, but I'm closest to the door. If she got to go to bathroom, she better have to climb over my ass. If I hear that sound in the morning, she don't have to push. She don't have to push me. She don't have to say, hey, check it out. I'm already up. By the time she heard the sound, somebody, had their head beat in or something. And we calling the police or something to clean it up. Seriously, that's the most important thing, because that's why I said something on that video anyway. That's why I did that video, because it's like, no, we got to stop that. We got to stop that. And because I got coaching clients, I'm like, oh, dude, you need to take martial arts. You got to stop acting like a punk out here.
Yeah.
Because trust me, I'm not as nice privately. Because it's the manhood thing. And see, one of the things, especially in the Black community, because this is really a bigger question, we got to ask ourselves, why is that Black manhood attacked?
That's right.
Because if you get a critical mass of Black men who stand up, a lot of shit changes. So, we got to ask ourselves that. So we need to stand up. That's the main thing. It ain't to get on some guys who might have had some trouble as young men. It's to bring the man out in them.
That's right.
Right.
Some men need their asses whipped. Sometimes some men need to fight in the street again.
Yeah.
And when I say fight, just to learn how to take hits, how to give hits, just to stand up as a man. That's my main message. I'm glad, sister, I'm glad you said that about the masculinity.
That's right.
Like Charles said, you get tired of taking ass whippings. Even one day you say, I'm not taking another ass whipping.
So true. And one other thing I would like to say, I'm so glad to hear that somebody is coaching our men out there. So it's really good, because when I made a post on Steve Harvey's page when he came out with the book, Act Like a Woman, Think Like, I said, okay, yeah, that's all well and good, but who's talking to our men? We need somebody speaking, because our men do not know how to approach. We have the tools, we're prepared, and all that stuff that was said in the book, really women already knew. It was just like a big uncle just saying what somebody else would have said to us anyway. It would have been said at one point in time, hopefully, or another. And that I was like, okay, so now what you need to do is find Tony Dungy. I don't care what it takes, make some X's and O's and get out there and show these men. Somebody bring these men to the table and say how to approach women. What do you need to do? What can you bring to the table? Whatever it takes. I was like, okay, you made this and that's fine and good, but what are we going to do with our men?
You know what? And that's exactly what I'm doing. And there's some other men out there doing the stuff. We setting a fire. We setting a fire. And part of it is we got to challenge ourselves as men, because this is bigger than just dealing with the Black women. This is a global thing. This is something we need to step up. The world is not forgiving. It's going to be like which groups of men are going to assert themselves. And not even going to be about nation states. It's going to be about which group of men are going to stand up and have some sovereignty and everything. And there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. Part of it starts with our hearts.
Right.
What kind of heart we got. A lot of dudes just need some heart. You know, and one thing I will say about some of the Pookie and Ray Rays, a lot of them respond to me. A lot of them, if I get in their face and say, you need to do this, they like, yeah, Rom, okay, big bro, OG, you know, Uncle Rom.
Yeah.
They get in there, they right with me.
Yeah.
Because they know.
Good.
They know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to
That's good to hear.
piggyback on that. Along with the men, our boys are suffering. And that's where I have a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old. And their dad is in their lives, but he's not because he works so much. And so when I need male figures, I'm pulling male figures from the basketball coaches, the assistant principal, the basketball players that, you know, his teammates, dads, you know, white, black, Native American, it doesn't matter. And I told both boys, I said, you will never be able to do anything in this town because half of the people I went to school with, and they know exactly who you are because of what you know, because of your athleticism. But our boys really need to, we're losing our boys. Either we're turning them into girls, not on purpose, but we're turning them into dude that just, you know, because he's still having that issue as a child. And I'm sure a lot of boys are growing up the same, having the same issue. And
it's by design.
Yeah.
Not by accident, it's by design.
Yeah. But it's good that you're creating the village around them, though. That's good to hear that you're creating that village.
Well, let me add to that.
Go ahead.
Let me add to that because my father wasn't in my life, but I had everybody from a Cliff Huxtable as a surrogate father to Ghost as a surrogate father.
Right.
In fact, the surrogate father I had, the Ghost figure, he almost snatched the little boy's life because we had just got in a fight. His wife, who was a surrogate mother to me, had to calm him down. He was about to snatch somebody. But I learned a lot how to carry myself from him. The Cliff Huxtables, y'all remember that TV show, The Rock? Rock, with Charles Dutton, had somebody like him. So there was a village where I was, and then I had my grandfathers, and I always joked that my uncle was like Alonzo Harris from Training Day. He really was, but I learned a lot from him too. So we had that village, and that's an important thing. You know, sometimes, you know, we had fathers who would take all the kids in the neighborhood, you know, play football with us or something like that. And see, that's the important thing to reach out because I got a lot of young people I coach. I got a lot of young guys, and they'll say their fathers weren't in their lives or something. And you know, we're reaching out for it. And then one of the main things that I'm telling them is, you know, standing up manhood stuff. Because shoot, I had to go through it. I had to learn some stuff the hard way. And I'm trying to tell them, okay, you don't want this pitfall. You know, because I know I talk a little trash on my little car videos and stuff like that, but ultimately it's about raising up men.
Well, the car videos is real Rom. I want to tell you that's real Rom.
Another car video.
Yeah, that's the real Rom. I said, oh, finally! I said, finally we get the real Rom.
Especially that rant. I've never seen Rom be angry.
Really? Okay.
He got the cussing and mother. I was like, oh my goodness! I'm clutching the invisible pearls. I'm like, oh my.
Well, here was the issue with that. You know, because you have forces that try to limit our manhood, but then, you know, when we hear that sound at night, you got to come in. And there was an instance where I had to stand up for another man who's older to save his daughter from getting her ass whipped.
Wow.
So, you know, that to this day fires me up. And there's more to the story. There's actually more to the story I didn't say. Because some people wonder why would I even get involved in something like that. But, you know, it's some family stuff. I'll leave it like that. But I look, you know, I see what's needed out here. So, you know, I had to let go on that one.
Well, it was understandable. I just never seen that, you know. So it was a shock. But okay.
All right. Who didn't
Mhm.
speak yet? Char.
It's Zula turn.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, going last, I guess I think what Lady Kendra said, like everything I thought, but better. So
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. She took the wind out of my sails here.
No, just well, co-sign. You don't have to sign, but you can co-sign. Go ahead, let it out.
Yeah, I definitely co-signed with her on this one. Oh, reading the letter or the comment initially, I just saw a really bitter guy. Like the fact that he's referencing, like you guys said, like his elementary experience. I got over that once I left elementary. I was like, okay, these people are dumb. I'm gonna move on to this next. Living in the present. This guy's still living in the past. He mentions insecurities, and he's just reflecting on his own situation. He's insecure. He wanted Big Booty Judy, and Big Booty Judy obviously didn't want him, and he's still checking for her. I don't understand why. Like, what was the purpose here?
So it was Big Booty Judy. I keep saying Big Booty Judy or Big Booty Brenda.
Yeah,
It's not a participation trophy, okay? They're
yeah.
human beings. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's just like, why are you still so? The first thought that came to mind was something Charlemagne the God said from the Breakfast Club: "Go where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated." In this case, not where you're not wanted. Like they didn't want you. Like find your niche, find your thing. Why are you still checking these lower grades if that's how you feel? Why are you still in this, this negative place? This is pointless. And at this point, you put yourself below beta. Like you're not even a beta male. At least they would try. This guy's not trying. He's just, no. But I wouldn't find this guy attractive at all. I don't. It doesn't sound like he could hold his own nutsack to save his life. And yeah.
I keep telling guys, find the biggest thing, and I had a girlfriend in high school, and she wasn't the most attractive thing. She was, and she was probably about a 4. And I look back, I said, that was probably the perfect woman for me, because she was 100% down for my agenda. And as an older man, if I could go back to my 16-year-old self, I tell you, keep her. Then don't let her go. You hold on to her for dear life, because the hardest thing, to find in this world for a man, especially a black man, for a woman to be 100% down for your agenda. I was telling my son right there, because I basically made him marry this woman because she was 100% down for his agenda, and you can't find that. It's difficult for a black man to find that. So it don't matter what she looked like. It don't matter what she looked like, because after I could tell you, I had beautiful women, and I could tell you, man, after about 18 months, that shit wear off, and basically all you see is that mouth yakking at you. Okay, that shit wear off. What you want to, especially a dude on a long-term relationship, you want to come home to a woman that's down for your agenda, that's gonna give you peace and be cooperative. Say, hey, baby, this is what we're gonna do. What do you think? Blah blah blah, and shit gets done. That's what you want. You don't want to. So Big Booty Brenda, because I had Big Booty Brenda. That's what in fact, my ex, remember that song Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe? Never trust a big button and smile. Every time that song would come up, I'll look at her. And she'd get mad. She would get mad because she knows that they talking about her, because it's not all that. And I don't know, because you chasing after Pookie and Ray Ray's woman, and you think that that's what you want, and you think you're gonna be happy, and trust me, you get her. 6 months later, you be dropping her back on Pookie and Ray Ray's doorstep. Hey man, you keep her, you take her. Trust and believe. But go ahead, sis. I just want to throw that in, because what you said is 100% correct.
Oh, well, yeah, that was it. That's pretty much it. He just sounds really bitter and a lot of insecurity showing. He's showing a lot of kinks in his really ill-fitted armor, essentially.
I mean, I'm not gonna speak to him because I don't know him in real life, and like Rom can tell you, what goes on online is only like maybe 10% or maybe even 20% of the story. More like this is the nonverbal stuff. When you actually see him interact with people, see him interact with women, that actually tells the whole more of the story than anything else, because a lot of that stuff is like nonverbal. A lot of guys can say anything and say that what they think is wrong, what they think is right, but when you actually see them lined up and actually see how they go around, I said, okay, I know what your issue is. And just looking at this, I love the bruh, but guess what, dude? Just because you didn't get the woman that you want, hey, the ladies on the line can tell you there's probably guys that they wanted, they thought would make them happy, that they didn't get because they couldn't get them, and it is what it is.
BGS, if I may.
Yes, you may.
You may need to queue up, I don't know, the New Kids on the Block or Michael Bolton or.
Normally I would, but we got the field master in the house, so we're gonna suspend the rules for now. But I think we're gonna get more attention than we need anyway, just because I think this is gonna be replayed because of the title. And I could have there could have been more in here, except I didn't even promote it on my men's channel because I didn't want all the headaches that were gonna come with it. I started to, but I said, nah. I said, we're gonna get enough attention. Sorry, Char. Okay. I know you wanted more highlights for this, but I said if I put it on Ibmore channel, we probably have double the especially with knowing that women are on here, we have double the views, but we also have double the headaches in the chat room too.
Right, and this is great, and I appreciate it. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have one more comment.
Go ahead, babe. Jump in.
I am appalled at your behavior from the other day.
The other day.
I never heard you threaten to beat somebody's ass before.
You know what I'm saying is, dude,
that was well deserved. The way he
sure was.
When the dude said I'm 6'4", 200 pounds, I said, motherfucker, I'll body slam your skinny ass into the ground. I said, send me a ticket.
And he was blowing wolf tickets anyway, because how you walk through your house talking yang. He came on the panel to start a fight, and he got one between Valdez and BGS. Oh yeah, they were gonna give him that work. So,
because how you go through the house waking up your damn kids anyway?
Exactly.
And say you've been in a relationship, been in a relationship 16 years. I said, man, come on. If you've been in a relationship 16 years, you ain't trying to you're trying to keep the stress level down because you have enough stress in your life. When you got wife and kids and you got to come home to it every day, you ain't trying to have no excitement. You ain't trying to have no stress. You're trying to keep it down.
Yeah, he been in a relationship 16 years. 13 of them he was in jail. That's what he met her. And try to walk nobody through that halfway house they put you in to try to get you back into society. Boy, bye.
I knew what was happening when he came on with a do-rag on his head. That's come on, man. Come on.
Looking like DMX, he was on crack and never made it.
When you have to speak up all your accolades of what you got, how you got it, and all that, and that's like the guy wanting to say, well, I can't toot I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm I'm the bomb, and and you're like, yeah, I bet it's a Vienna sausage instead of
Well, what I'm saying is that that's how come I have to keep myself calm, because I ain't one of I ain't one of them dudes, man. I'm one of if I let my real self out, if I let my real self out, I'd be one of those day of the jackal kind of guys. I would have no remorse. And I used to tell them little thugs, man, messing with my kids. I said, man, you know what? I said, you know what? I'm cool and I'm calm. And I said, I don't talk the language. Guess what? You mess with my kids, I'll blow up your house with you and your mama and your grandma in it. I should tell them that. I should tell them that. I said I will have no compunction about blowing up your house with you and your mama and your grandma in it. Now you leave my kids alone. I said, you take your little ass in there and get on the Xbox, get you something to eat, and act like everybody else. Knock that stuff off, because I ain't have it. I had to go through. I said my kids would not walk through that gauntlet that I walked through. It wasn't gonna happen. I swore to that. I said my kids never had to walk through that gauntlet, because I had to walk through, my whole life had to walk through the gang territories just to get to fucking school, man. I said my kids were not going through that shit. Wasn't gonna happen, not on my watch. So if I had to take somebody out, families included, I said, sorry, you just was on with it.
Bye bye.
BGS.
Yes, sir.
BGS, you know
sir.
what?
Yes, sir.
I ain't surprised, because I even said it in the video, because I think I was saying if we ever had a YouTube basketball game, like a male YouTubers, I'm being on your team, because you all intellectual dudes are dangerous on a sports field. I'm always on the team, because you be that type. You be that type on come and they think, oh yeah, I'll get over it. You like slam the ball on somebody, like talk trash to them, say, here, son, take it again and try to do it again from that angle. So you can block them dead. Don't
like,
people.
What?
Yeah, I bet you BGS will talk more trash.
What?
Yeah. I seen the type. But you let it out there. You will let it out.
I can't, man, because I'm the type that will pick up a chair and hit the side of the head.
There's always those quiet ones that'll do it.
I ain't that kind of guy. So I said, let me be calm before I have to sit, on somebody's death row, man, behind doing some shit. So I said, let me calm my ass down. Don't, avoid all this stuff, because I know how I am. In fact, my sister was just talking about that. We gangbanger threatening my sister and stuff like that. I told her, my first call was to my brother. Said we need some, we need some M16s, because we need to take out a whole bunch of folks. And basically, but my mother said, look, I said, this is what my sons are planning. We need to talk. We need to talk to your son, because some bad stuff getting ready to happen. So I said, let me calm down. I keep it to a level. Said, okay, below this, I'm not going to do anything. Above this, I said, okay, I'm willing, because I'm willing to sit on death row. If you're willing to sit on death row, then nothing matters. That's what I found out. So. But anyway, that's enough about me. Why do you bring that shit up, cats?
Evil Gemini twin for the win, because I love my Gemini twin. She ain't shit.
Them quiet ones are lethal.
There's thousands of ways of killing people, and people.
Because I'm messy.
Yeah, I know you messy. You're a Pisces. That's what's happening. That's what you are. Anyway,
Because I'm messy.
Yeah, but
you know what?
Go ahead.
Yes, let me add to that real quick. Let me add to that real quick. Because I told people from DC, I told them, spent life in Anacostia in, shall we say, bad situation that Child Protective Services had to come. And also some other, I got used to it. One of the things I said, the last time I really got in a fight, because I said, if someone put their hands on me, I would kill them. And people get that vibe when they with me. I back down people twice my size, because I just look at them, because I was like, and the bad part is it kind of come from a crazy family too, because they were like, hey, pick up that left or something. And sometimes you gotta be that way. See, that's part of the reason I'm like this and not worried about a Pookie and a Ray Ray, because I'm like, if they throw hands, I can throw hands too, but I'm not gonna stop until like one of us is dead. And that's my attitude. I'll say that. I will say that. I don't care. I will say that on the air. If we go there, no, it ain't gonna be like, oh yeah, it's a good fight or something like that. And you got to be that way in certain places, because you know what, out there, people are checking for you. That's why I say men can't be scared like that. People read that. They look for that. They looking for that fear. They smell it. And a woman does not feel safe if a man don't have that attitude.
That's right.
So, seriously, that's why I got in. That's why I'm up tonight. Y'all know I don't usually pick this up until I'm getting up in the morning or something. Listening and stuff and hoping my son stay asleep a little bit longer or something so I can get some stuff done. But I had to come in on this.
Yeah,
I had to come in on this.
What I'm saying is the chickens beat you to bed tonight, man.
Yeah, I know. They did. But I'm fired up for this because I'm gonna tell you what, conversations like this between black men and black women are what's needed, and no
Yes.
hold bar conversation
Exactly.
in their little corner.
That's
And we
right.
got to hear what each other got to say. We got to listen to whether we like it or not,
That's so
because
true.
that's the only way we solve
Very
stuff.
true.
That's the only way we solve it.
So very
So I'm
true.
all fired up. I'll probably be up a little bit later because I'm gonna be able to sleep for a while.
Yeah, we know why, because it's Friday night.
Candy Graham for Mongo. Cramming it somewhere. That's why he laughing, because it is a candy gram.
Yeah, I know. We get that. We get that phone vibrating on the table. We know what's happening.
I'm surprised I haven't heard it in the background now. It's been like going off all night.
Several candy grams. He lining them up and knocking them down.
Hey, Rom, you like airlines? You double booked?
Yeah. What's up?
You overbooked?
I got
Always, I work
two
it out.
phones.
And sometimes I gotta help though, Two women gotta help out each other, tag team and whatnot.
But I'm gonna add something to this whole Pookie Ray Ray thing before we spin off somewhere else.
Okay.
Another myth that's really persistent: the educated lane versus the Pookie and Ray Ray. For whatever reason, the so-called educated lane thinks that the women are turned off by his education. That's not true. I personally love smart men. There is nothing more unattractive than a physically attractive dude that's dumb as hell.
What you say?
Say it again.
Stupid
Dumber than
dude.
some yacky weed.
I mean, because it's less of, yeah.
Go ahead,
Like, I
man.
can't
Let it
even
out.
talk
Let
to
it out.
you.
Don't hold back. Let it out.
Because it's less about what you do have and more about what you don't.
That's right.
That's what the issue is, that you don't
Yes.
seem to understand and don't want to take the
Yeah.
time to cultivate or stand in your truth. Either way, I'll accept you, but I can't accept you in that dead spot where you don't know who you are and I don't know who you are, and you can't lead me in that fashion. I especially
Yes,
not a woman like
girl.
myself.
Yes. Yes.
You have to know exactly who you are to talk to me.
But if I'm here, that lets you know that I got you. I'm gonna evidently, if I'm here, that should let you know that
Yeah.
I'm here for you. I'm gonna support you. Whatever that takes, whatever it takes to support you. It has nothing to do with, okay, you may not be here yet. You may not be there where you want to be financially, but I'm still here for you. Yeah, because
I don't know about that.
well, okay. Well, I guess that comes with age. Maybe that
Right.
comes with age.
Well, I'm only 2
Maybe.
years younger than
Just
you.
maybe. Huh?
I'm
Oh,
only 2
two?
years young. I'm only 2 years
Okay.
younger than you. But
Okay.
it's like the potential when we were young. We looked at the potential. What's up? The resume looked. He's got some potential to do something. I've gotten to a point. I'm like, no, I want a portfolio that's full.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
okay, so been there, done that, got that t-shirt, got the mug, got the mouse pad, I got all that. Okay. But willing to do it again for the right one. It's just, you have to, in this
Exactly. I
society,
agree with that.
we have to, for the right one. I'm not just gonna do it for the one when I saw the signs. I know that my role in the demise of my marriage was that I saw the inconsistency with jobs. I saw the unhappy being that he was. However, I was like, I got enough happiness for the both of us. I can do this, I can support him. And after moving to another state and having him to transition. We were here 10 years, and for him to have to transition from 10 different jobs, 9 to 10 different jobs, and he admitted that in counseling. He verbalized that in counseling. That he transitioned from 9 to 10 jobs over the 10 years we had been in this new state. But she never said anything to me, never threw it in my face, never did that. So I've been there. It may not be another 10 years. Okay. However, willing to make the sacrifice. Willing. Because that's what the relationships are about.
Yeah.
They are, and I think a lot of that depends on when you get into that circumstance. Like, you know, when you have to struggle, or what type of struggle you've already been through and didn't work out, and whether or not you're willing to go through that heartache again. But I think a lot of time is focused on trying to avoid the heartache instead of trying to repair the old heartache in order to be whole, to identify it from the beginning.
So true.
Because it's like a lost lesson. And if you're operating in the world where you're just going to avoid, you haven't learned the lesson. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. My husband and me and him had a discussion about it today in preparation for tonight's conversation. And I look at him as a Ray Ray, an evolved Ray Ray. He's from St. Louis. He went to Ferguson High School. So to give you an idea, from the Ferguson area, you know, he plays trumpet professionally, although still in corporate America. So that was kind of his out. You know, not every Ray Ray or Pookie stayed that type of Ray Ray and Pookie. There's levels to this shit. You know what I mean? And because he's a Ray Ray with the hustler spirit, I know I'll always eat. Now, we had went through a point in time where we were on one car and all these other things. And here we are now. I was able to quit my job and be a stay-at-home mother because he's a hustler. Even my friends have said to me, you know, I wish my husband hustled like yours, because their husband is only doing what the white man tells them to do from 9 to 5. You understand what I'm saying?
Nothing extra.
Nothing extra. And because a lot of the educated lames, or those who really don't even know who they are still those little boys, they don't quite understand the evolution process and what growth really looks like. You understand what I'm saying? They're mislabeling it as something else. And we need to be. Go ahead.
And every woman is not built for a Ray Ray.
Oh no, not at all.
Because Ray Ray can, when things get tight, you know, and Ray Ray need a little leeway because he's trying to do the next thing. There's some chicks that want that stable 9 to 5 dude that comes home every day and does the same thing. Everybody ain't built. Every woman ain't for every guy.
Right. No, it's not. And you know, another thing.
Go ahead, finish me. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that was really it.
Sure. All right. But what I keep telling guys, telling you, find a woman that vibes with you, is down for your agenda. Every woman, you know, every woman don't want a Pookie, okay? Every woman don't want a Ray Ray. You know, there's women that want that educated lame and can't find him. Find the woman that's for your agenda. Don't worry about the women that ain't. What you like Alan Roger Curry said, you know, we don't always agree. When he said one thing, there's 2 kind of women that you want, that you really want: the rejectors and the acceptors. Okay, because the other 2 you don't even want to worry about, because you want to quickly know that a woman is not down for your agenda and move on, so she don't waste your time. You want that hard? No, baby, I'm not feeling you. You're not in my lane. You're not part of my vibe. I wish you well, but I'm not attracted to you. You just take your L and move on, and so you can cycle on to the next chick. That's what he was 100% right. You want to either an acceptor or a rejector, one of the 2.
And I want to point out.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Char.
You can go ahead. I'll go next.
No, go.
Okay.
We're so polite.
Okay. Can I go after Kendra then?
Well, you sure can. Go ahead, Char.
Okay, I was going to say, like people are talking about educated lame and all of that type of stuff. I'm not sure where people are putting you guys, you know, because when you try to have a conversation, BGS, with someone, first thing they do is attack you. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, old man. That's the first thing they say. And I'm like, well, where's the conversation at? And I just wanted to point out a few things that I've noticed just modding for the past year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Ulysses. He's very self-aware. He's knowledgeable,
Mm-hmm.
and he's teachable, and he's a gentle guy.
Mm-hmm.
I would consider him, or the guys will consider him like a square type or whatever. He's not real bold, but that's attractive. Who he is, from what I can see, that's an attractive guy.
Yeah.
Someone want to deal with.
Exactly. I agree wholeheartedly.
Ulysses is a Ray Ray, but he's square. Okay.
But that's still attractive.
Which is fine, because I'm a hood chick, but I'm a nerd.
And somebody that's missing, Haitian man, haven't seen him in a long time, but he has great humor.
Mm-hmm.
That man is so humorous, and he's smart too.
Mm-hmm.
And even though never seen him before, that would be someone you could possibly be interested in. So just different qualities that you see talking with someone, a guy that you're speaking with, that can carry a woman's attention. And I think that's what's missing with a lot of the guys. They don't know how to have a conversation or vibe with a woman. They need to work there too, I believe. But
yeah.
Yep.
And vibe with one that's vibing with you. Like, okay, they say, oh, well, I wasn't never able to find no girl when I was in high school. Man, listen, you wasn't looking at the girl that was making herself available to you. Personal experience. I wanted to be up under the nerd guys. I'm gonna tell you a little something else. When I say, ooh, guys wasn't checking for me, I'm only talking about black boys. The white boys wanted a piece. The white boys always came up in high school. Oh, you're so beautiful, and nobody's talking to you. And you know what happened? White boys don't count. I only wanted a black boy. I didn't want no white boy. White boys, they're not masculine enough. So I didn't want nothing to do with them. And then, I know what he gonna do with me. He ain't gonna wife me. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna care. He gonna try to fuck on me, and then that'll be something that he can tell his boys. That's what I had a black girl. I wasn't checking for that dude. You know what I'm saying? Little white boys. I was never checking for no white boys. I always was checking for a brother. I wanted a black dude. So I would try to ease up under a black boy. Man, you know what I'm saying? I'm smart too.
Right.
So he want to be in computer class and programming. I'm up under the programming class too, because I'm up under the smartest boy. He cute. He a nerd. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I'm learning too. I'm sitting right next to you, and you want to be lab partners. You know what I'm saying? But he couldn't take the hint because he was so busy looking at the girls that the popular boys was going after.
So true.
So you always kind of looking at who looking at you.
And can I share this real quick? The nerd that did become interested in me, he was interested in me because I was on the pom pom squad. And even when we were adults and got older, he said, I tell my son I had a cheerleader. I mean, this is after the 10-year reunion. Your dad had a 20-year reunion. Your dad had a cheerleader.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was the pom pom squad. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, go.
There was only one, and I could relate with what Kendra was saying. All the white boys like the black girls, but they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough gumph to stand up to the brothers. The brothers were too busy looking at the white girls, and there was only one white boy that all the black girls liked because he hung out with all the brothers. He grew up with all of them, so he had that swag. And he grew up with money, but he had that swag because he was with the brothers all that time. Ended up marrying a black woman and still married to her to this day. But yeah, and I also remember the high school reunions. Oh, I loved you, Lisa. I wanted to go. But you were so mean. You were so mean. You were the meanest cheerleader there was. I was like, you liked me? Yeah, you didn't know.
Here's what it is.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Is what it
Well,
is. Yeah. Go ahead.
like, and the thing is, like, I don't know, I guess for me, because like I didn't know any of these terms before coming here. And I had no idea what any of this stuff was. So when people were like, oh, you don't like educated lames, like I didn't know what that meant, right? And when I would say like I really don't know what you're talking about, it seemed like I was lying, but I didn't, because I didn't classify men in that way. I didn't separate them, the guys from the hood versus the ones from this versus the ones from that. I didn't do that. It didn't make sense to me to really kind of do that. I had a type as far as like, I like dark skinned guys primarily. And I liked intelligent guys. I liked guys who, were into the same things that I was in. Like I was into music. And lyrics and stuff like that. Like I could sit there and listen to spoken word for hours and stuff like that. I like guys who are really cerebral like that. But as far as like other aspects of them, like where they're from or what they did, or like I didn't really care about things like that. To me, it was all about that vibe. And as I've gotten older, I realized like basically it's like the woman in me is answering to the man in them. So. And I am like, I'm a very, I know what you're going to say, BGS, but I am a very dominant person, walking around day to day. I'm a very dominant person. But when it comes to a relationship, and, sexually, I am very submissive. So when I am meeting a guy and whatever, and, courting a guy, because I actually go through the courting dating process. I don't just jump into bed with someone. The woman in me has to respond to the man in them, and the woman in me needs to submit to the man in them. And this is not on an unconscious level. This isn't on a, openly, well, he says this and then I say this or whatever. It's just something that happens. And I can literally feel it. And, it's the way he approaches me. It's the way he speaks to me. It's the way that I speak back to him.
Well,
it's the way my body responds to him.
What you say. Girl,
right?
You better hush, girl.
And the thing is, I've had that man speak to the woman in me, and he could have been educated, lame, all these terms that y'all have used. Yeah, I've had a man in someone speak to the woman inside of me from any of these categories, because it didn't have anything to do with any of that. It really didn't. It had to do with other qualities that they had. And, like you said, like, Ray, that hustle, that inner motivation, that mentality, that can come in a variety of shapes and sizes, socioeconomic statuses, races, whatever. It's that same thing. And so, like, I mean, people have told me apparently there are women who are really caught up with this. I'm not one of those women. And I've actually had conversations since learning about these classifications with women that I know. And, it's kind of like one of those, no, I never really thought of that. Yeah, I guess maybe in high school. It was kind of like one of those responses that I was getting a lot of, which is that, what it came down to is I'm a woman. I need a man who makes me feel like a woman, and I need a man whose man leads my woman. So if you can do that for me, all of the other stuff is irrelevant.
Yes.
That's just what it's always come down to for me.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Go ahead, sis, and spit that game.
Right, right. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
That is it.
Speak to me. What you say?
I was like, I gotta get a fan in here. Oh my
right?
goodness.
Who turned the heat up? Who turned the heat up?
They've been in the circle for a while. Okay, these are the ones, Field Master.
No, but let me say something about that. That's what it really comes down to, is how a man interacts with a woman and a woman interacts with a man. That's what it comes down to. Forget all that other stuff. So if a man brings out the man, he can bring the woman out in the woman. That's what he look for. It's really that simple. All this other stuff is just window dressing. It's labels and stuff.
Well, that's the business end. There's two sides of this: the attraction and there's a business end.
That's right.
Hopefully they both work together. They don't always line up.
No, they don't. No,
they don't always line up. Come on, Rom. They don't always line up. They don't always line up.
No, trust me.
Beyonce, the same thing. Okay, she was. She wanted 100. She wanted the masters of the universe. I wasn't that guy. But the thing is, she said, "I don't know why I like you. I don't." I said, "Heifer, you love me. Now deal with it. Okay, deal with it. Deal with it." She used to always tell me, "I want a guy that can give me this, give me this." I said, "Shoot, you didn't want me to recruit for you?" You know. I mean, if I'm not enough, step. I tell her that all the time. Trust me and believe, she was beautiful. She was a head turner. Put it that way. She put on something tight. Trust and believe. She all kind of guys will be busting U-turns, come back and get her.
BGS, was this your Jodeci fan or your Prince fan?
No, she was what was she? She was actually a Luther Vandross fan because she was a little older than me. But she had dated colonels, she had dated dudes that were like executives and stuff like that and whatever. But whatever it is, she picked me. She picked me. But the thing is that the attraction level was fine. It's just the business end didn't work. Wasn't where she wanted to be. So I said, which couldn't quite get worked out. Yeah, but that's it. So there's an attraction level, then there's a business end, and same thing I tell guys. It's that sometimes the shit don't work out. So either you're gonna, if you're attracted to her, and vice versa, if the attraction can work out, you're willing to deal with the negotiate the business end, it'll work out. If not, a lot of times those two things do not always line up. So you have to. You're gonna have to make some kind of compromise. It is what it is.
That's right.
So just because you're dealing with big booty Brenda or that chick, and she basically she drives your crank in the overgear, but she's lousy with business. Okay, she's lousy around your friends. She probably isn't gonna have run your household like you think it should have been, like your mother ran your household. Okay, that's the business end. So you got to keep both of those two things in mind. There's a compromise. So you get the chick that's maybe doesn't turn your crank quite as fast, but still gets the job done. The thing is, she runs your house like you want it ran. Your kids are raised like you want them raised. Okay, as far as business, it ain't no strife. She ain't gonna screw up your money. She ain't gonna have no kind of knuckleheads in your living room when you come home, that kind of shit. So you gotta think about all that kind of stuff because tell brothers, okay, you so-called classic man educated lames. Dealing with Big Butt Keisha, it's not all it's cracked up to be. You think it is, but it okay, yeah. You can only spend an hour a day in that bedroom, okay? And then you got to get up and deal with real life. And I always I have a joke about dark skinned women, because I said I love dark skinned women. I say they're good for me, they just ain't good to me.
Sorry.
Hey, it is what it is. I always had issues with it. Hey, I love them, but when we get together, whatever it is, shit don't mix.
Oh.
But anyway, enough about me.
You don't want to be polar tink, y'all.
Yeah.
Say what? I don't want to be what?
I said you don't want to be polar tink no more. No polar tink.
No, the hell, man. Man, I'm still dealing with that stuff right now because I'm gonna tell you about. I'm gonna tell you guys that are listening. Okay, is when you get a woman, especially if you're gonna have kids by her, don't follow your dick. Don't follow your dick, man. Wow. Think about it. That's a vessel. Before you actually bring something forth through that vessel, man, make sure 100% make sure she the right one. Because trust and believe, you'll be dealing with that shit for the rest of your life. You got to make sure that's the right vessel to bring your kids through. Anything else? I mean, she might turn your crank. She might be a playtime. Same thing with a woman. Make sure that dude that you pick is beyond just him revving your engine up. I'm sure the walk can tell you the same damn thing. Make sure that dude, just because that dude rev up your engine, don't mean that's the right dude for you. Because like I said, you can only be in that bedroom an hour a day.
Yeah. You know, that just comes from people ignoring red flags. Man, I didn't need a red flag. If it was tinged any shade of orange, outside of that, I didn't need it to be red. It didn't have to be all the way red or nothing like that. You could have a fuchsia flag and I'm gone. So, you know, because it was all about, you know, I'm gonna watch you. And the one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna let you talk. You talk to me. You tell me about you, and we don't have to have no impressive shit. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, a person like me, my value system is set up different. So you can't really tell me about your bank account because first of all, I always been broken. I can't miss no shit I ain't never had. And the key word is that's your bank account. It ain't in my bank account, so it don't do me no good. So just be you. I'm gonna let you talk, and that's more attractive to me. Just a man being who he is. Just be who you are. I'm either with you or I'm not. It don't make you a bad dude. You know what I'm saying? It just make it where me and you not clicking. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? You know, if we don't click, I'm not going to be a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And all this other stuff and give you a hard no. And, you know, you're stupid motherfucker. Now you talking to me, you know, because that's just not that's not in my ministry. That's not my style. But, you know, I'm going to talk to you. And for the ladies, learn how to act around men. Learn how to act around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't always chosen by dudes, but when I was, it was due to how I interacted with them. Because first of all, I was just regular schmegular degular. I'm regular. That's the only thing. I'm not putting on no front because I ain't got a front for you. You either gonna like what you like, or I ain't got time for an L because that facade gonna fall anyway. I can't keep that shit up for more than an hour. So I'm just gonna come in as to who I am, and you either gonna like it or you don't like it. That's fine by me. But you know, I know how to interact with a dude. Just sit and talk to him. And this is why you work on more than your pussy game. Because dudes like when you can have a conversation with them and it's not about dumb shit. He don't want to talk about love and hip hop. He really don't.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So I can have a conversation about comic books. I can have a conversation about the key to the universe. I can have a conversation about you have to get well-rounded so that the dudes that you talking to at least you have respect for your brain. Like, okay, me and her may not rock together, but she cool, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. He can at least walk away with some kind of respect for you. You know what I'm saying? But all you bringing is your pussy game, that shit way out. Because, you know, after he busts a few nuts, now he going to be looking at you like, well, what else do you
What
do?
else you got?
That's for the rollover game and
the rollover. That's right.
The rollover and
the
baby wipes come in.
That's right.
Man. Then you wonder why he don't text you back. Well, girl, I know I threw it on him. Yeah, but you ain't throw nothing else on him. So he got a couple of them in the rotation. So you ain't finna get text back. He not coming to your DM. He not finna inbox you on Facebook. You out of there. All right? Because you don't know how to do nothing else. Conversation stupid.
You're 12 to 5 girl. That's what you are.
Wow. Ooh.
Oh yeah. We got a witness here.
No. I'm just saying I never heard it put that way. I've never heard that language. And as the other young lady said, the Ray-Rays, the Pookies, the Ray-Rays, and that's new language for me as well. And so now the 12 to 5 girl, that's new language for me as well. I've not heard it.
Actually, it's old one. It's just but that's amongst men.
Okay.
That's amongst men. So Rob, with 12 to 5, Rob know exactly what I'm talking about when I said 12 to 5.
Okay.
You didn't do because you didn't pick right up on it.
I picked it up.
Yeah, let me say something now. Let me say something. And this is not necessarily about the 12 to 5. It's just great just listening to the sisters on here because I've said several times I've learned a lot of stuff about game from women. Some of them were sex workers, but that had to do with the Child Protective Services. But a lot of older women used to just take me to the side. If they saw me messing up, about to talk to like the wrong type of woman, they would grab me and talk just like Sister Kendra was talking. They raised me up. I mean, seriously, they would grab me. If they saw me messing with some trashy type woman or something like that, they would grab me. And even when I would try to talk to some young girls, like as a teenager, they'd say, hold up. They'd be like, dude, you kind of cute. You don't need to be doing it like that. It's like they would stop me and say, hold up, you don't need to be trying so hard. You know, this conversation that y'all giving us, this is game. Brothers need to be coming in and just listening. Not getting mad at anything y'all saying, just listening. You know, I even texted a couple and said, look, just sit back and listen to what they saying. Don't get mad, don't get triggered. Because y'all giving some game in here. Y'all giving some good game. Y'all letting us know some things.
And I was hoping,
and that's what, hey, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that would happen tonight, because the main thing, you can think that you know what's going on, but if you hear it from women, now you know what's going on.
Right. That's right. Wow.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Shoot, y'all got me up still. I'm like, man, y'all just lacing. I love this.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Hey, I got to step out. It's pretty late over here on the East Coast, at least for me. But I appreciate being on this panel with you guys. I've definitely heard a lot of different, viewpoints that I totally agree with and vibe with. Especially Kendra. Oh my goodness, like I wish to evolve that human.
What are you, Gemini?
Am I a Gemini? Oh no, I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, okay.
No, but
you say you're a Capricorn?
Indeed. Yes.
Oh yeah, me and Capricorns get along famously, sweetheart.
Yeah, I was just listening. I was like, oh my goodness, I want to be just like you.
Oh.
Hey, Kendra, you know we irritate the hell out of Capricorns.
We do, but they love us. They can't stop being around.
I know, but they're frustrated around us. Oh, these here, they don't want to say a bad name though when they get mad.
Yeah, because they don't know which twin is gonna show up first.
Well, we don't.
They
either.
bossy.
Yeah, they are bossy.
Oh.
They are bossy.
And we can't be boss. So.
I definitely appreciate this feedback. I've definitely found a lot of qualities that you guys, speak of in the current mate that I have. You might not be in the package in which I had totally wished for, but that manhood of that leader and, knowing where to be, what to do and essentially, taking that burden of protection away from me, I definitely appreciate that. And that's I feel like that's all I'm really looking for personally. And I'm pretty sure other women, as they've said, are looking for as well, a pure leader and a protector and a provider with a hustle, essentially, or at least that drive in the right direction.
And I want to
thank you. Are you married or in a relationship before you go?
No, I'm in a relationship, not married just yet.
Does he know?
Does he know what?
That he's going to get married with a certain time frame? Or he's holding back on it?
I don't know. We speak on it. It's kind of, I don't know.
All right.
It's on the table.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you say. I heard that voice and said, so you got a timetable, and I don't know, is he ahead of the curve or ahead of the timetable or behind the timetable?
I'm not sure. He might be just sitting on it.
That's the pivotal point.
And that's honest. That's honest. It really is.
Oh man, I'm just teasing you. But but after sitting in a circle of women for so many years, it's like, okay, I hear the code. It's like, okay. I said, should I let her know that I know the code or not? But next time, don't be so quiet. Jump in and throw some elbows like everybody else.
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm naturally quiet. I'm sorry. It takes a minute for me to warm up.
That's what they all start that way. Even cats, they all start that way. Then all of a sudden, you get that elbow beside you. Wait a minute, I thought you were quiet.
Don't bring me into this.
Start out crying or quiet.
They started crying and quiet, yep, and then they start throwing elbows. You know, if Ruby can do it, damn it,
I came in with an elbow.
Now you got that forearm shiver to deliver.
Well, let me head out of here. But
All
thank
right.
you for the invite.
Good night.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Good night, sis.
Wow.
Mongo, are you trying to figure out whether or not you are sexy? Is that a trick question?
What?
He started in the chat talking to Officer Faulkner. We call him Mongo.
No.
Yeah, he's Mongo. He gets the candy grams and 2 a.m.
Speaking of chat, we have a super chat question.
He's the officer that's in Baltimore.
Mhm.
And we have a super chat question.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Pick up.
Excuse me. So he's not to tell your location, but he's in the vicinity. Let's put it this way.
Yeah. I know. Shit, he gotta be rough down there, man. Shit.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
He's 5'10", 270 pounds, and like 10% body fat, so he can handle it.
Doc Diesel, man. Yeah, because they got some real Omars down there and real Michaels and Marlos and whatnot. So they weren't faking too much.
No,
they really weren't.
Well, that's what attracted. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say they didn't have to build a set down there, man.
No, they didn't.
They just had to keep the locals. They said, okay, just be cool while they filming this right now.
In fact, you got a cameo. Just be yourself.
Exactly, man.
All right, who's next, Char?
Let me say something real quick.
Go ahead, Katz.
Officer Charles, you can flirt with others, just don't do it in front of me.
Oh, wait a minute.
Excuse me?
Oh my.
Officer Eric Whoremonger, we've talked about this. We're getting you in shape for when Katz is 30. Let's not do any of this funny business, okay, sir?
Rom, Katz is our late bloomer. Okay, she's just getting into her woman body. She's like 5 foot, and she's 23. She just turned 23. She's 5'9", and she's thin, and she's just now starting to fill out. I said she won't fill out till she get like 27, 28 when the hips and stuff start coming in.
Yeah.
She's gonna have it.
No, that's true.
Yeah, she's a late bloomer.
You get that guy with that energy.
What you
Trust
say?
me.
Yeah.
Get that guy with that energy. He look across at you.
Brought back some memories.
Yes, you brought back some memories.
Them hips are
You
spread.
just look at Shoot.
Somebody know what
Trust
they
me,
doing.
you'll know it too.
That's right.
Yeah, you know it. Shoot, you might not have to wait till 27. You might not have to wait. Shoot. Like I said, he just dip his head. He just look you in the eye and stuff, and
That's it.
Shoot.
That's it. That look got me in a whole lot of trouble, though, Rom. So I don't know whether to be happy about it.
That's all you need, man.
Yeah, got me in a whole lot of trouble.
Well, you know what?
Yes, sir.
Well, see, if a guy really knows what he's doing, he don't have to even touch a woman to make her have an orgasm. He just has to have that strength, because ladies, y'all know that's why y'all like looking at a man's eyes to see what's there.
That's absolutely true.
100%.
y'all know it.
We
Y'all
gonna
know
pass the
it.
plate
Yeah.
now.
That's
We
when
gonna
I
pass
know
the
it's
plate.
primal. It's primal. That's when my woman speaks to his man. I'm telling you, it's a
That's
primal
right.
connection.
It's
You have,
electric.
And
yeah.
then don't think about it the next day. And he
Dave,
ain't
what did
coming.
you say?
Mm.
Look at it.
I don't know where he lives, but I'm gonna find out.
Find him. Flashlight on. Flashlight on.
Hey,
At
hey,
9:30.
hey, remember, and Back to the
Sit in the
Future.
bushes with a machete.
Right.
Remember Back to the Future when Marty McFly first got there and he showed out and with his mother, who didn't know it was mother, she said, "I don't know who he is, and I don't know where he's from, but I'm gonna find out."
Gonna find out. Gonna find out.
Hey, that's
That's
that
right.
look. But see, that's because love, real love, sex, sexual intercourse, that starts way before y'all get to the bedroom. I try to tell I always tell young guys that it starts, you got to capture that imagination. That foreplay starts like a week before, really.
Yeah, it
Everything you
does.
doing is just getting fired up.
That's right. Warm it
Then once
up,
y'all get
Chris.
there,
I'm about to.
hey,
hey, Rom, it also makes them call you.
Wow.
It also makes them call you 20 years later too.
Yes.
Don't it? It does.
Oh,
What
I
you
get those
doing?
calls. I get
It
those
does.
calls.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew it was your grandmother's uncle's birthday.
Hey, y'all women ain't shit. You know that, right?
We know. And you like it. That's okay.
That's and thank you very much, sir.
We know.
And thank you very
You
much.
know you like it.
Yeah.
Seriously. Oh my God.
You like
man.
hearing that call say, "Hey."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What you
Make it feel
doing?
good.
What you doing?
It depends on what situation I am in at the time.
That's right.
Because I done had some daggers. That number just pop up and they hit pick up daggers like coming from across the room. I ain't even picked up the phone yet. Nigga, don't you pick up that phone.
You get a special ringtone. You know it's about a ringtone.
No, it ain't a ringtone. They just the vibe hit. I got they on that same link. And that phone call come in, the number flash. You don't even have to see the number, right? Nigga, don't you answer that goddamn phone. She give me that look. Don't you answer? Don't even think about it. Put it down.
I know.
Yeah, I know you know. I ain't talking about you. I know you know.
Yeah, man. You know what though? Let me just say this. This probably taking it away from Pookie and Ray Ray. Black women. I'm gonna just say this. Sometimes y'all be tripping too much. Y'all just so beautiful and stuff. Just the beauty of a black woman's body. Just to make you gotta lay y'all down and just sit there. Don't even get into it right away. You gotta sit there and ponder it for a second. You gotta contemplate it. We gotta shine our light on
You are
y'all.
too much.
You done got Ron fired up. You done got Ron fired up. That's what it is. You done got Ron fired up.
Oh, okay. Keep talking.
Listen, I'm into that tantra. I'm into the. Hey, look, it's that energy. See, dudes be going too fast. They gotta take their time with y'all. Shoot, we gotta see because we gotta shine our light. BGS talked about it before. The light, we gotta shine that light on y'all. Just take y'all in. I was like, dude, y'all not going no place. Take your time. Shoot, because y'all got so much y'all trying to give us. TC, we got our information that we giving y'all, but y'all got so much. Y'all walking around. I know some tantra masters. They cry because they thinking, man, y'all got so much to give us, and dudes ain't recognizing it. Shoot. See, this how we supposed to interact all the time. We ain't supposed to be going back and forth arguing. It's supposed to be love.
Yeah, a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, well, you got to get women comfortable enough to tell the truth, because a lot of what's going on. Say like with Chrissy, because Chrissy calls a lot of shit. Say, woman, tell the goddamn truth. You're not attracted to the classic man, educated lame. You like them roughnecks. Now be honest with yourself. Say, plant your flag and stop trying to jump over the fence and trying to force the classic man out of their lane into the roughneck lane so you can be happy with them. Be honest.
You know,
Speaking
She got
to what
issues anyway. She'll never be honest.
No, she ain't. She won't.
Nah.
She won't. Yeah, because she be talking about me and said, "Baby, I done had a dark skinned Keisha. I done had you. In fact, mine was better looking than you. So, and I know. I said, I know your flavor because I done had it before. So, you trying to tell me as a 30-year-old woman what you about? So, I already know where you at. That's why I make her mad because I already didn't figure out what her game is. All I want you to do is be honest with yourself.
Well, you know what?
Go ahead, Rob.
Well, you know what? Let me say this, and not so much about her because I don't pay attention to the youngin.
Yeah, I heard that.
Women need to be honest anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Women need to be honest with us anyway because we, as a collective, we'll keep doing the same things. Yeah. And if we can't handle it, that's on us.
So true.
That's on us. Because I would tell women when I was young, don't fake with me. You know, when I was young and inexperienced, I said, don't fake with me because then I'll keep doing the same dumb thing. If you got to stop in the middle and say, baby, you're not doing it, I'd rather hear that than like, oh, you were great and I wasn't.
Right.
You know, be honest. Be honest about your preferences, regardless of what it is. You know, if you want Pookie and Ray Ray, have at it. Just be honest about it.
That's right.
But you want Devin or whatever, just be honest.
Timothy, Thomas.
Yeah, just be honest about it. And be authentic because as men, we got to be authentic. We got to shoot. Y'all looking for the man. So that's how we get through all of this. You know, just be authentic.
I'm telling the truth, especially to the younger ladies, cats. I hope you're listening. Don't waste your 20s being inauthentic. Be authentic, or you'll waste your damn 20s with bad sex and unfulfilling fucking orgasms. Tell the truth.
Yeah,
all right.
You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be mean with it. Just be honest.
You don't. That's right.
You don't have to
you
be
know
mean
what the
with
thing
it.
is?
Creative.
But a lot of black women want to be mean with it. You know, instead of just being hey, just say hey.
But you know what?
Go ahead.
They're mean with it to begin with because as it is, they are not mature enough and honest enough with themselves that in the moment they are actually able to even articulate what it is that they want or need or what needs to change or not. They want someone to magically know what their body does and how their body responds to something. That guy might be magic in bed, but he can't know what works for you unless you open your damn mouth. So instead, with her shame, because, you know, black women and their guilt and shame, what do? They turn around and they make it your fault and your problem instead. And now they're going to come at you when really they're mad at themselves, right?
Because they're insecure. Basically, they're all uptight. And
may have been exposed to something that was their introduction into sex may have been a little bit traumatized. You know,
you know what it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Because their mother taught them, you know, brought them up in the church and taught them that sex was bad and you're not supposed to have this, that, and other. They're all inhibited. And what they want, what I noticed with having sex with women, especially black women, is make me orgasm. Make me do this. Make me do this so it's not my fault. I couldn't help myself because he made me do it. Instead of like my fiance
taking ownership,
taking ownership.
Taking ownership of it. By no way am I telling you to be a slut. That is not what I'm advocating for. But what I am, you know, it was once told to me when I was in my 20s, you got to date every kind of man. You know, you got to date the artist or, you know, the militant and the educated lame, the Pookie and Ray Ray. I mean, because that's the only way you're going to truly be satisfied when you finally settle down. Because if you're still looking to see if the grass is greener, like it's just going to be a real fucked up situation when it comes to that. You know, I'm very comfortable because I've done a lot of things. You need to travel, you need to meet different type of men and other ethnicities. I mean, you need to sample, you need to, you know, sample safely and smartly. You know, with purpose. I'm not talking about slutting out now. With purpose.
That's right. I like that.
Take
sample safely.
Take ownership.
Sample
safely.
Take ownership.
I like that.
Yeah.
Take ownership of it. You know, it's to me, it's just not a big deal. But I'm from the thought of it's not about how many people you slept with. It's more about your health. Like, when was the last time you got tested and what was the results? You know, I'm from that school of thought. But I'm just also comfortable with, you know, who I am and what I'm trying to accomplish here, which ultimately is self-preserved happiness. And I can't get that by denying myself or, you know, not really understanding who I am and being concerned about what other people think. I can't do that. You won't get anywhere that way. But if I can give you any advice, just, you know, sample safely, but you must sample, you must date, you must get out there. Because I'm noticing a lot of people in your generation, because, you know, my daughter is your same age, if not exactly to the day. And I feel like that generation just wants to get wifed up real quick. I just want to get wifed up. I want me a baller. I want me a celebrity. I want me this. I want me that. And but it's like, but you, who are you? You just jumped off the porch. What do you mean? You want all of these things, young lady? Little girl?
Yeah, I definitely feel like the pressure because like I already told you about how my grandmother was like telling me she wanted me to have a baby already. And she was like a couple of weeks ago, she told me, well, you know, you're gonna have to start eating healthier if you want to have children and stuff. And I understand what she's saying, but I'm like, I'm only 23 years old, you know. I'm not trying to have children right now. I probably want them like, I don't know, my 30s or something.
It ain't about you.
How about that? Right. And see, in their era, and then also we have to take into consideration in their era, by 23, you've already had 6.
Yeah, had kids, had married.
Had 6, had 6 kids. Yeah.
6 years, in their area, that's true.
You've had 6 already, if not more by then.
Yep.
They started having them at 15.
Yep.
You know, it's unfortunate, but that's what it was. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a different era. It's not unfortunate; it's just a different era.
Yeah, but you know what though? Like,
that's true.
What I've noticed is and I remember the conversation. So I mean, obviously, I got the whole, you know, don't have sex till you're married, God will punish you, that kind of stuff. But you know, prior to those conversations, you know, growing up, I got the whole you're special and precious and you're a magical gift and blah 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 kind of conversation. So I think that kind of helped. But I think what I noticed and the kind of the messages I remembered were the ones that said, if you can't discuss condoms with the guy you're going to sleep with, you're not ready to have sex.
Have sex, that's right.
If you can't say
that's
things
a different
like,
era. Yeah,
right? If you can't say what you want to do to him, like, you know, I want to suck your dick, or I want you to put your dick inside of me. If you can't say those words to him because you're so embarrassed, you're not ready. And I think that's the thing, is that a lot of people are engaging in activity that, first of all, they don't really truly understand, and they're certainly not comfortable enough to even address it, let alone to say something like condom, birth control pills, let's go to the clinic together and get tested, or anything along those lines. And a lot of them, again, they have no idea what's going on down there. They really don't. They have no idea where their clit is in relation to the urethra, in relation to their vagina. They have no idea.
To the anus, that's right.
The anus, their labia, their inner and outer labia. What does that mean? What is it supposed to look like? They have no concept. So if they don't know their own body, how the hell could they tell someone else what to do with their body? If they don't know their own body and how it reacts and how it responds and how it's supposed to feel and how it can feel. And I mean, as far as what it seems like, a lot of them, they just engaged in a lot of the sexual activity. They really had no idea. They might have lucked out and sometimes it was decent, but they don't know what great is. So how can they tell someone else what great is? What amazing is, what mind-blowing is. They know how to fake it because they're supposed to put on a show for that dude, and whatever, and then they can go and say, I took that 12-inch dick and whatever, because they don't know anything about what sex is.
Didn't enjoy none of it.
And didn't enjoy
none of it.
And didn't experience it.
They didn't have an experience. Like, sex is an experience. Foreplay is an experience. They have no idea what it is. at 23 with 4 kids. They don't know what sex is yet. Like,
yeah, that's unfortunate. Another reason why I just want to bring it back to the Pookie and Ray Ray thing. Another reason why you'll see a lot Pookie and Ray Ray have a special place in a lot of women's hearts is because a lot of times Pookie and Ray Ray is who bust us open sexually.
What you say?
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? Like really they had the confidence and they had the skill and they had all of that made us go to the next level, or maybe was the Pookie and Ray Ray is who got you your first orgasm, you know, things like that, because they're so confident. To lead you in the bedroom, unlike, especially at that time when you're dealing with the educated lames or the classic men in their early 20s, some of which are virgins or whatever, aren't that experienced, and you out there trying to do your thing and explore. But then you got him over here like, come on, you know. So you don't even have to be a Pookie and Ray Ray to understand those things. But because you focus solely on your education, thinking that was your card or your in, you've left all the other nuances alone and let them go.
So can I ask this question? Are you telling on yourself?
I'm married now.
Wait a minute.
I'm married now.
Now.
No, that was my story. That was Regina's story. That was she told us.
Hello, Kat.
I'm just saying.
Let me get my voice right.
Hello.
Let me get my voice right. Hello, Kat.
You're getting better. You're almost down there. You're getting better.
Me and my boy decided to wear suits at the desk today. So
I thought you were out, man, wearing the suits, man.
I'm at the desk.
Look, go ahead and stand up and model.
Oh, okay. He's at the shoes. Yeah. How about the shoes? What about the shoes?
Oh, the shoes are right there.
Oh, shit.
Camping.
Hey, Officer Bunk.
Been pimping since been pimping.
Yeah. This is Bunk, okay? See how big his ass is, you know.
I'm not that big of a guy. And oh yeah, by the way, BGS, you ain't shit because you threw me under the bus. That number 8 just ran over me. And cats, cats, don't make me handcuff you, man.
Really?
That sound like
with some of these ladies, man.
Cats, you're gonna wind up in the interview room with handcuffs, all right?
We hadn't let him interrogate you.
And then I like how quick-witted she was. I like how quick-witted she was with the chat. He was like, "Don't threaten me with a good time."
Cat is very quick-witted.
Yeah. Talk about it. And here's somebody with Pookie tendencies, okay?
Exactly.
I am the amalgamation of all three.
In the flesh.
In the flesh.
I am a classic man. I am an educated lane. I have Pookie and Ray Ray tendencies.
Yeah.
So you have a healthy balance.
I am in Nirvana. That's what I am in.
Yeah. Here we go.
Girl.
All the benefits of Pookie without none of the troubles.
Yeah, until you get double booked like somebody else I know.
You know, only got eyes for one girl on here.
Yeah, eyes. Yeah. Hey, Pants Rose, Mongo. It's the eye. It's not the eyes that we worried about, all right?
He ain't gonna post his picture.
Look at them guns on it.
Look at here, guns. Shoot them up, bang bang.
Shoot them up right there. Look.
Oh my God.
You are secure in those. For real, cats. Ain't got to worry.
She can cook.
Oh my God, I don't know what to say.
Cats, there's only one thing to say. You gonna interrogate me, Zaddy? Oh, yeah.
X, I know you on here. See what you did, X. See what you did. All right.
And just for
Go
brother X, yes, it is that Paul Smith tie.
Oh, okay. All right. That's how you turn a EL to a classic, man.
Yeah.
So
And
would there?
in actuality, I don't normally wear suits when I'm working at the desk. We did this in silent protest. So you couldn't wear that. So we said, well, fuck you. We'll just wear suits today.
Wow.
So it's like I like my little suit. You know, I think I'll show BGS because it's dark in here, and I'll send BGS a picture of the whole suit in color.
All right. Okay. All right. Hey, we don't want to see you in that dark room, man. Whispering. Okay, not tonight. All right. I don't know where that was.
I'm gonna whisper to be like cats. How you doing?
Yeah. In that file room with the lights off.
Turn out the lights.
All right. Where were we? Get us back on track, Char.
Anyone?
They're bad.
If anyone remember what the super chat was, we can do that because that person been waiting for a while.
Okay, that's way back.
Yeah.
That's way back. Oh, Bronze with a super chat said, "Is this BGS after dark?" I said, "No, this is BGS for women." She said, "What? I never heard you guys talk about sex." I said, "Where were you last week?"
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I told her it's after midnight, so yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She ate her milk and cookies and had to go to bed.
Oh. Night.
Let me. Okay, it's not on the scroll. Let me go back into the. Go ahead, keep talking. I'll find the super chat.
What does super chat mean? I apologize for being a new one. I'm sorry.
No, a super chat is that when they donate money, it'll come up in the chat room. So if they donate to the channel, then it'll pop up. And sometimes they have a message, sometimes they don't.
Okay.
But they had a question in the super chat that we didn't get to because it's kind of early. Because I think Rom was on, and I think the ladies were talking. So I didn't want to interrupt the flow.
Okay.
That little dollar sign up under the chat room there.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
So while he's looking for the super chat, I'm gonna bring the conversation back a little bit. And I want to tell guys something too. If you're in a relationship with your lady, because I'm not the most experienced, the bulk of my sexual experience happened with my husband. However, the sexiest thing that you can do to us, speaking, and I might just have to be speaking for myself. I don't know how many women would agree. But the touches that you give to us when that don't lead to sex.
I'm gonna have to log off in a minute.
It's cold. Yeah. Open up a couple windows.
Just calm down. I just calm down.
But I'm just saying, like coming into, like my husband would come into the kitchen. It was big enough for the both of us, and he would grab me around my waist and reach around and get something and walk.
Pop you on the butt.
Yeah, now he did that constantly. But see, the grabbing of the shoulder, the stuff that doesn't, when you touch us when we're not having sex with you, that actually makes us feel more desired by you. Because it's okay, he will touch me when we're not screwing. But if you limit all your touching to when we're in bed, that actually creates an insecurity for us sometimes, or a question. We'd be like, okay, well, why come he don't touch me unless we're doing that? And so we start wondering, well, is he happy with me, or am I not attractive, or what's going on that he won't put his hands on me unless he's going up in me. And so sexiest thing is when you touch us when you have no intention of having sex right at that moment.
Bamboozle said, "Be more specific about those touches."
That's a fist beat after long as you've been married, boy. I don't know what to tell you. You better
right.
He just want to hear you say it. That's all that is. He just want to hear you say it.
I ain't saying nothing to baby. Come on, now. Use your imagination.
It's
right.
walk
All
into
right.
the grocery store and the small of the bag to touch. It's just
Yeah.
it's I think someone even posted it's the touch on the back of the neck. It's how even sitting on
The
the
frontal
couch.
lobe kiss.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
kiss,
logging out. I'm logging out right now.
That soft kiss behind the neck,
Neck.
or kiss her
behind
on the
the ear.
shoulder. Yeah, kiss her on the shoulder. Walk
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Straight
Yeah.
lick down the back. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Wait,
Hold on.
what is
After dark. We going
Yeah.
after dark.
That's true. If you get that part, then that's gonna lead to the bedroom. If you get
Yes,
that
it
part.
is.
Yeah.
Earlobe. Somebody post earlobe.
Okay, earlobe.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right behind the ear, underneath.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not a big ear person. I'm just not. Like, I have a thing about ears, period. Like dirty ears and stuff like that. That's a turn off for me when I would date.
Oh my
Like, if I look
god.
at his ears and they dirty. So now if you kiss me in my ear, it sounds like a dog lapping up water, like in my eardrum. I'm not here for that.
What is supposed to kiss it, not lick it? Okay.
I don't know. I done been scarred. We've
Oh
been back in the
yeah,
20s.
yeah.
Back in the 20s.
You're not supposed to slurp on her ear.
And I think it goes back to, and I apologize that I don't recall who stated that, but the women letting them know, hey, if you lick me in my ear and not kiss me in my ear, which one I like, sharing that with them,
Or basically without even saying
let
anything.
them know.
If
Yes.
he's hitting a spot, if he's touching a spot where you don't want it, just gently move his hand or move his head to a spot that you do like.
Do like. That's right.
You don't have to say anything to get mad or jerk back. Just move him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Move him, but if he one of them blockhead dudes and he keep coming back
to the
Jesus.
But he didn't let you know that
now
you don't
you
need to
have
be
to
with
tell
him. Yeah.
I never got too many complaints kissing a woman from her neck to her thigh. Never got too many.
Well, because
See, there you go. See, there you go. They're already trying to log off, and here you go, starting shit.
To the classic men in the educated lanes, would you bend a woman over in the kitchen in the middle of her making dinner because Pookie and Ray Ray will?
Hell
You said have I?
Would you do that?
or put her on, or sit her on the counter while she's making dinner.
Exactly. Those are the type of things that
burn that cornbread fucking with you.
Yeah.
Made me burn my cornbread.
Hey, Bill, get this, bend her over as she getting ready to walk out for work.
She calling in sick.
She gonna cuss you out, boy, on her way out. Too.
Made me late.
Made me late. Exactly. Yeah.
I love that one. That's a badge of honor when you hear that one.
Yes.
Yeah, you made me late.
Yeah, it is.
That's right.
I love it when you make them late. I've been the reason why I made them late. I remember one lady told me that, and she was like, "This was a while ago."
Clean it up.
It's not she who shall not be named, is it?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
And it was funny because she showed a picture to her boss of me, and she was like, "Oh, you're excused."
Wait, that.
And what's his phone number though?
Right.
Well, you can actually
asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend, right?
Well, he'll put his email in the chat, I'm sure. He rabbit hunts, okay? So anyway, let me read the super chat. Okay, the first one is from Calculated Risk. Isn't it as simple as having heart or balls? Self-determination versus laziness, as far as being a man, or even if you're an EL, as far as being man, showing masculinity. Is it about having heart or balls, or just self-determination versus laziness?
Wow.
I would have to say that it is about just having heart and just being in touch with your masculinity. You going to school, I don't see why you have to push that to the side. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why your masculinity has to go in the garbage just because you go through the school system, the American school system. Like I don't understand the correlation between being smart and I lost my masculinity. I don't get that correlation. But you know what? Let me quit lying. I do get that correlation. I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna quit lying. I'm gonna come on with it. Problem is, they subscribing to the white man's standard of how he have to get women.
Yeah.
White man got to pay for women.
Yeah.
If he ain't got no status and
He's
power, he not about to get a higher level woman.
Yeah.
He not.
Speak on it.
She is not going for it at all. But however, what black men have to understand that you're not part of, that's not part of your ministry. Okay. Black men, my humble opinion, have much more natural masculinity than white men do. So therefore, a black man that doesn't quite have all of that money and power can still pull a higher quality woman or a fine woman or whatever it is, just based off his raw masculinity. He doesn't have to pay for these women. That's an added bonus if he ends up with, you know, the six figures or the whatever the hell, you know what I'm saying, he's gonna have or gonna do. So if you stop buying into the white man's how he got to get a woman, that's not how you have to get a woman. And another thing about that as well is stop being ashamed. Here's one thing I noticed. A lot of these guys that call themselves educated lames here on YouTube castigate the black community. They talk shit about Pookie and Ray Ray. At the same time, they separate themselves from the black community. Oh, I'm not bailing them out. I'm not going back over there. I'm not doing that. But yet he talks shit. And I'm gonna tell you why he talks shit. Because he's shamed in front of his white master about what the black community wants. That he's a part of, no matter how whitewashed he is. He's a part of it. The white man, you're a nigga. I don't care if you're a nigga in a Lexus, you're a nigga in a coupe. That's all you are. That's all you'll ever be in front of that white man. I don't give a shit what kind of degree you went. You went to an Ivy League school. He don't give a damn. You'll never be a part of him. And the issue is, who gives a shit? Who is he to be part of?
Ask Barack Obama. Ask Barack Obama. You can't go no higher in the white man's land than being president of the United States. And guess what? He still is.
And unfortunately, their opinion is what's causing a division between educated lames and the Pookies and Ray Rays, to be quite honest, when everybody really needs to come together.
It happened. It happened before. It happened back in the early 20th century between the talented tenth, which is the mulatto class that were trying to assimilate into the white class and got thrown back in the black bin. It's the same thing. That's where it's colorism, all that other shit. Bad cats came in, and we're doing
exactly.
You're gonna still be in the same bin. That's why I come out with that article about New York Times talking about even if you're rich, even if you are wealthy, come from a wealthy family as a black boy, at this, you know, and Monahan said the same thing. You still have to walk through the same goddamn gauntlet. I don't care where you are in your station, whether you start at the bottom or the top, the gauntlet that you have to walk through is still the same, and you have just as much chance of winding back down where Pookie and Ray Ray is as anybody else. So if you're educated lame, you a couple of paychecks for being right down there with Pookie and Ray Ray.
With Pookie, that's right.
So you need to leave Pookie and Ray Ray alone. Learn, because you can learn something from Pookie and Ray Ray. Okay, because he has some things that you don't have, and vice versa. That's where it used to be. Because it used to be back in the day. If the Pookie and Ray Ray didn't know something, or they, you know, whether they had to do a lick, or they had to figure out something that was complicated because they needed to do a lick, they find an educated like, hey man, we try to do this, doesn't so, and we know you the smartest one in the group, man. Figure this out for us. You will figure it out for them. And by the same token, they will have your back. I don't know where this division came from. When I was coming up, we was always together because you know, being a so-called EL, I'm the one to always get the tech questions. How do you fix the computer? How do you do this? How do you read this book for me? What does this say? Blah 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 blah. And the thing is, These are your brothers, and what's happening with the say like a Sergeant Willie Pete? Okay, yeah, your parents escaped out into the suburbs. Yeah, they did this and another, and you went out there in the suburbs. You were around white folks and all these other folks, and guess what? You didn't have a community, so now you got to go back to it because you figured out at 30 years old you're in the same still in the nigger bin whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. So what I'm saying, stop, leave, Pookie and Ray Ray and the Thug. They're just what it really is they're you, in another lane because you could easily be a thug. You could easily be Pookie and Ray Ray. That's like even with the Blackish. That's what we're trying to tell you. He was saying, I'm an educated lane. I am a upper middle class dude. I got me my half white wife, and I got this. I live in this nice white suburb with work with these nice white people. But if I was in my father's shoes, I might have done the same damn thing that he did. And that's the real talk about it. And I think that's a fear that so-called classic men or ELs don't want to have. That I could easily be Pookie and Ray Ray. I think it's a fear.
That's interesting.
That is.
Hey, I got a question for the ladies.
Jump in
before I rotate out.
Okay.
Okay. For each one of you ladies, what attracts you physically and mentally of a man?
Oh my God.
Here we go. Go ahead.
Oh shit.
Be true.
We gonna go from we going from the 20s up or from the 50s down? How you want to roll this? How you gonna roll this?
Get it batter up. First one in.
When we were in the police academy, we usually pick E, all the above. So, and by the way, just for warning, I got my notebook pad out, cats.
Lord.
Oh my God.
If you're neat, that's half the battle. I can tell you that about cats. If you're neat and you're orderly, that's half the battle.
So I think I'm the senior of the group, so I'll go first. Physically, it's going to vary. It's going to be interchangeable. If you can communicate with me and we're the same height, find out what I like.
We say same height. Same height.
Same at 5'6".
Okay.
5'6".
All right.
But what Regina envisions and what she likes is a whole nother. It's another level of from that. It's not 5'6". Trust me. It's a.
Oh, don't. All right.
And then if you saw my ex, you definitely understand that it has not. That individual connected with me at another level at another time in my life. I needed companionship at that time, and it wasn't about the physical features. So I took in an opportunity to enjoy somebody a little bit taller than me, 5'9", a little bit heavier than me. I took that in. That's what I needed at that time, or what I preferred at that time.
That's what you vibed with.
Yeah. And so however, now it's not even about the physical or the you gotta be mental. You gotta touch me. You have to and so when the young lady mentioned about how you touch me physically, then it has to be about how you touch me mentally, and what can you bring out of me. I enjoy having those conversations where you can pull stuff, and you can pull stuff out of me and I can pull out of you. It's an interchangeable opportunity to explore. So that's from the senior of the group. It's a little bit of both. Yeah, you're gonna have to tap into both of those scenarios. It's not gonna be just he's got to be 6 feet and dark skin and this and that. It's no longer that at this point.
You gotta make love to your mind, right?
What you say? You better bring it. You need to bring it. Bring it.
Yes, I know, girl. I know.
I don't call him the field master for nothing.
I see.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Hit me up on Facebook. Hey, hit me up on Facebook. Rom Wills. Yeah, we'll talk.
Okay.
Knocking them down.
No, you
I can be
hit
truthful.
me up on Facebook. How about that?
Oh, what's
Okay.
your name? Okay, I see. Hold up. What is it? Weights? Y'all gonna be asking some stuff. Okay. Hold up, girl.
No,
You can put it in the chat. You can put it in the group chat, or you can put it in the Hangout chat. If you want to put it in the Hangout chat, then only we can see it. It's up to you.
Wait a minute. You got love never fails in your profile?
He don't call him the field master for nothing. He done found you already.
Yes, that is me. Love never fails, no matter what.
Right about that, sis.
That's right.
How long did it take him? Didn't take him a minute, did it?
Not a minute.
That's what I told you. I told you. Well, that's why. That's why I call him the field master. He knows all the steps.
You know,
he's in when he said he's in the field, he's in the field. Okay, he
I
stays there with
see.
it.
I see. You were not. I hear you now.
It's it.
Okay, so I step back. That's from the senior of the group.
Ramo, you magnificent bastard.
Hold up, though, sis. I don't see something here though. I don't see that button here. I'm gonna have to do it another way. Hold up. I don't see that button, sis. I'm just saying. I can't be like add friend or whatnot. I don't know what's up. I don't know.
I went incognito for a minute.
Oh, okay. Oh,
okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we hiding out.
I see, sis. Yeah, okay. Well, you know, my stuff's still there too. So my button is up. So hit me up.
All right, who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
You actually asked me this question before BGS. And,
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was funny because you said, well, what is it that you like? I said, you have to stimulate my mind. You said, what was it when you were younger? I said, you have to stimulate my mind. You said, okay.
That's right.
And that's it. I could just leave it right there. That's all I need.
That's my friend.
That's why I love you too, Charles.
Yeah.
That's why I love you.
Always been that way. 6th grade, we go back. 7th grade, go back. Yes.
Yeah, well, I've had both sides, so every woman ain't a mind. It don't go for the mind. Okay, some go for the mind, some go for the behind.
Is
that it, Charles? That's it.
That's it. That's all I need.
That's it.
That's all I need.
So let's go a little deeper. How do they stimulate your mind?
You have to be interesting. You have to know something. You have to be like intelligent. Teach me something. Hold a conversation. And that's stimulating.
So you've been in love with nerdy boys your whole life, huh?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm sure your girlfriend said, "Why you like him?"
Like who?
Yeah. I've dated pretty much any guy from 5'5" to 6'9". So I've had a wide range there. But you just had to stimulate my mind. I was cool. I can work with the rest.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I guess what the 40's checking in now?
It's 540's checking in. Yeah.
No, there's another 50 in here.
Oh no, well, go ahead, girl. Go ahead, sis.
Well, both of the ladies said the same thing, and it rings true with me. If you stimulate my mind, if you can make my mind calm,
Ooh.
The rest of me is right there. Physical, the physical attraction. Like I said, it varies. I'm not. I don't have a color preference, or I would like him to be at least my height and taller.
Well, how tall are you?
I am 5'6".
Okay.
And he has to appreciate me as I am. Because right now I'm 264 pounds. And I've heard everything from, oh, you're too fat, you're ugly, you look like a man, whatever. But if he loves all of me,
all of this,
right, as and we have wonderful conversation, yeah, and just adventurous. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a fetish chick too. So, and if we can learn things together, that makes it even more fun. So that's where I'm at.
So basically, like Rom said, is don't sleep on the nerdy girls. He was just
the nerdy girls are the most freaks.
He was just saying that don't sleep on them because they have a little bit more kink than most the street girls.
Yeah, kink, right?
Yeah, they have a little more kink. Yes, they do. Yeah, because they're thinking, because they think, and they're into more of the they are more sexually adventurous. Most guys don't know that.
Yeah,
but
you know what too?
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say though, and this is what I found, and the ladies can co-sign this. Is not really putting it all out there for just everybody to see. That sex drive, you can't like close it up. It's going to come out somewhere.
That's right.
So what the man has to do is just make y'all comfortable enough and say, baby, you can be free with me. Yes, you can be free to be. Don't judge her. See, too many dudes judge you. You say you can be free. I'm not going to judge you. Shoot. Fellas, trust me on this. Trust me. All the guys, I know some dudes gonna be looking at this. Trust me.
Yeah.
Let them be free.
And it might be something that you might be down with anyway. You be like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Oh,
right. Yep.
Yeah. Talk about 50 shades. Yeah, we got 100 right
50
here.
Right.
Yep.
Mr. Black, not Mr. Gray, Mr. Black.
I'm about to get in this car. You get my sister to sit back and just listen to the ladies.
Got about to be. You gonna learn today.
And going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Mind go warm them handcuffs up, please.
Ooh.
I was trying to be good today.
Uncle.
I was trying to be good today.
Hey, I got one thing to say for that, Officer Charles.
And is that a Baltimore? These fools. I am a gentleman and a scholar.
Until we get behind them doors.
So, Toots, why did they call you Eric Hormonger?
What happened was.
You about to lie to us.
Ming, I know it. No, he ain't gonna lie. We're gonna try to dance around the truth. Go ahead, Ming, jump in.
Like Fred Astaire.
What do I like in the man? Let's see. Physically, I've dated men who were that body type where they're skinny, but they're like all six-pack and muscular, to the beefy muscular, to the fluffy. I'm only 5'2", and I wear up to 6-inch heels, so I like guys to be at least 5'10" and above. My daughter's father's 6'6", and my husband's 5'10". I'm a guy's kind of girl, so I'm gonna go into the men who used to date, not married, but dating. I like to have a good time. I'm not a sloppy drunk or a crybaby drunk or angry drunk. I'm like, let's have a good time. Where we going next type of person. And I like to have a good time. So I like people who I can hang. Like my husband and I were friends before we got together, really good friends and hung out and stuff. So I like people like that. Somebody I can roll with like a friend. We can have inside jokes. We can talk about anything because I like to consider myself real well read, even though I'm still learning, but I have an insight on everything, about everything. So I like to be able to do that. And I'm a very passionate lover. I'm an Aries. I mean, it's just who I am. So I like people who are passionate and skilled in the bedroom. I can't deal with somebody, put your hand there, I got to move this there. No, it's not like that. I like to have a good time, like in the bedroom. It's actually like athleticism if we fucking. So,
well, damn.
That's I mean, I do.
That's mean.
Okay. Well, damn. Well, damn.
That's mean.
You gonna have a good time.
Yeah, that's all right.
Let you know. Okay, we in for a 12-round fight. It ain't gonna
that's
be no
right. Ding.
Yeah.
So let me hear your body talk.
This is a 12-round fight. Basically.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna ever be able to say if they want to gossip.
Yes.
Hey, me. When
they ain't never gonna be able to say I was a lazy fuck. Nobody's ever gonna spread that rumor.
They gotta move all the breakables, huh?
That's
you
right.
know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You're not gonna, if you're gonna gossip, you're gonna tell the truth.
Truth.
And that ain't gonna be what you're gonna tell.
Yeah.
You want to get one of those Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Iron Man 60-minute match performances. That's what you want.
You know what I'm saying? That stuff you write home to mama about. That shit that make when you think about it later, your dick get hard. Like that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that good stuff. Especially like when I was dating. When I dated like a guy, I would date several guys, go out or whatever and do what the fuck I want to do. You know what I mean? And no hard feelings, no problems unless you did something to hurt me that was foul. But more often than not, it's not. Girls be out here getting hurt because it was just the fuck. But that's just because you didn't read the signals correctly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm not upset about that.
That's right.
So that's pretty much who I was when I dated. And me and my husband was really good friends. Like we said in other conversations, he and I are on the same page about everything, which you have to be kind of with me because of my personality. It'll be a fight to the death. So I needed somebody who our ideologies and worldviews were the same. And that's what I ended up with.
Exactly.
So
may I ask what his sign is?
He's an Aries as well.
Wow.
Which normally
fire doesn't.
Yeah, which normally doesn't work out. But
that fire and fire. Yeah.
It's my birthday, man.
So
when it goes down, it goes down. I'm April 13th, and he's March 31st.
That's the why. That's the reason why.
That's why we're 2 different months. That's why it works.
That's it.
Because we're the same, but we're different in how we approach the world, how we intertwine with the world and dance with the world. But we're the same. Right. So like when I'm dancing in my way, and I say, "Did I go too far?" He like, "Hell no." Even though he would have probably approached it differently, but in the spirit, he understand where the fuck I'm coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how come we work. But when we get into it, we get into it.
So in other words, it's Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's the spy.
Yeah. Real talk it is. Just today, we was having a conversation, and he called me mean, and I'm like, "Well, you mean too." He shrugged like, "Well, I don't make people cry." He said that about me. Like who the meanest? What you mean?
There's levels to this shit. Okay.
Exactly. I guess I'm at the.
Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you my Ron Simmons. Damn. I like him. His birthday's the day before mine. I like that.
Yeah, he 31st. So that's the only way we will work though, because who I am, it doesn't work with some people, especially if they haven't evolved or they're not secure in who they are or they don't have nothing to teach and I'm smarter in the relationship, which happens a lot sometimes. That shit don't work.
No. Well, no.
You're absolutely
right.
Now
not being an Aries, nope.
Yep, that's right.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
So
Nope.
arrogant curmudgeons. I'm sorry, Aries
Nah,
are
if you get with Aries woman, if you weak,
Oh,
she
you better,
yeah,
yeah.
Mm-mm.
all you're gonna see is hoof
It don't
marks
work.
on your back. Yeah, it's gonna see hoof marks
I'm
on your
trying to
back.
think, have
That's
I
it.
ever dated an Aries woman?
Man, I've dated a ton of
You
them,
would have
man.
remembered.
I've
You
dated
would
a
have
few.
remembered if you had.
You
Yeah, you
remember them,
would,
yeah.
dude. Trust me, yeah.
I
I've
Yeah.
mean,
dated a ton.
a lot of times,
I
me and
said
a
I
lot of women
actually
just
get
can't
along
put
with
them
them.
out.
Huh?
You say you can't get along with them, Ron?
No, I said I've dated a lot of them. I get along with them very well. Very, very well.
What's your
Yeah.
sign?
Wait.
Aquarius.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. You get along with Aries. Yeah, Aquarius.
Ron, what's your sign? He's an
He's
Aquarius.
Aquarius. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
mine.
Aquarius.
Oh, I have
Yeah,
so many in my life. Oh my
yeah.
God, I can't get away from y'all.
Oh yeah.
You love air signs. You're an
You should
Aries. You love
watch
air
him.
signs.
I do. We do.
Yeah,
We get along perfectly well, quite honestly.
yeah, yeah.
My mom's an
Yeah,
Aquarius. My daughter's
shit.
father's an Aquarius. My mother-in-law's an Aquarius. My grandfather's an Aquarius. Like I can't get away from y'all. I
What's
have to
in
love
That's
you.
just a natural man.
what's in what is it? Your eighth house, Rom? What is it? Eighth house is relationship and marriage,
I
right?
don't even. Yeah, I don't even get into it
Yeah.
that deep. I just take
Okay.
people. I just know who I get along with.
Yeah.
If I meet a woman, she born in April, I'm
Uh huh.
like, yeah, we click.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
March,
Yeah.
like later March,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
click. It's like automatic.
So that means
Mhm.
that probably means you got Mars in your. I think it's your eighth house where you it rules Aries. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's why, like I said, even though Capricorns don't always like me, but I got Capricorn. I think it's my eighth house, and Capricorn women is like if they meet me, it's like the automatic attraction. Like let me take you
Mm.
home and say, wait a minute, I don't even know you. You can't. I'm not there to be purchased, okay? And
So what are
Capricorn
you,
don't like
Julia?
that. Huh?
It's the voice.
I'm a Gemini.
You're a Gemini.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What I'm saying now, like the Capricorn's like, okay, I like you. Let me take you home. I'm gonna purchase you right now. Okay. You'll do. Come on.
Oh, God.
Come on. Come with me. Where
I
you
don't
going? You
know
coming
what it
home? I'm
is,
purchasing
but you Leos drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Who's
Oh Lord.
next?
I guess it's me. Physically, I don't have a whole lot of stipulations. You know what I'm saying? Long as you ain't sloppy, fat, nasty, your hygiene bad, and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he ain't got to be 6'8" and he got to be so many
Right.
pounds and blah 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 blah. Like I don't care about that shit. You know what I'm saying? As long as he decent, he a decent looking guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I can work with it. Um, mentally, like I said, there's nothing more turn off than a stupid ass man.
Oh.
You have to be able to hold several different conversations with me. Because I can hold several different conversations competently. I actually want him smarter than me because I want him to be able to learn something from him.
Yes. Yes.
I want him so confident in his masculinity that he can learn something from me and not feel like I'm trying to dominate him.
Yeah.
Personally, a man that deals with me, if he can deal with my randomness, we'll be cool.
I know. I feel you, sis. I feel you, sis.
You know what I'm saying? Like we'll be having one conversation and I see some shit in the corner of my eye and just casually mention it. You may continue with the conversation, but I did want to bring attention to that. But keep going. There's a lot of people get thrown off by that. Like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. He just has to be able to kind of deal with how I operate because one thing that threw men off when they tried to be in a romantic relationship with me is my level of masculinity. And it threw them off because they thought I was trying to be dominant or this and the third, and I'm trying to tell them what to do, and I'm trying to make them not be a man. You know, because I'm not about that. You know, I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I'm blunt to the point of brusque. And sometimes men be like, well, what are you saying? Like, who you talking to? Like, I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't like, I don't mean nothing. It's like I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? The XYZ, man, you know, I mean, you don't see that, you know, and it's like, okay, well, you know, she's not being ladylike or whatever. And that kind of throws me off because it's like, I don't know what you want me to do, cry all day. What's being ladylike? I don't understand. You know, I'm not a damsel in distress, so I don't know what you're talking about. And then if he can deal with the times where I'm quiet, because I'll walk around my house and be quiet for days on end. I won't talk. And I'm not angry. There's nothing going on, but I don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you say something to me, I'll speak. But you know, this is how I went years in my marriage without no argument. Because I ain't gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fight with you. I don't want strife. If you want to be right, you can be right. I'm that, you know what I'm saying? Like I move around, you know what I'm saying? I'm an air sign. I move around. You know what I'm saying? You want me to move over here? You want me to move over there? I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with that. So if he can deal with like the layers of me, then I'm sold. You know what I'm saying? I'm sold. You know, he got to have a good conversation and he got to be smart because, you know, just like he don't want to hear me talk about love and hip hop, I don't want to talk about his Jordans all day.
That's a different.
When you actually do the fighting style of fist of the door style, I was like, that's my girl.
When she did what? I'm sorry. What did she do? What did you do?
I said I made a reference to an anime.
Yeah, to anime.
Okay.
What was the fighting style again, Kendra?
That's Hokuto Kenshin, man.
Oh.
I'm the one true successor. I'm telling people, man, I'm the one successor. See, if he can make jokes with me like that, like that's the dude that I can rock with. Like he got to be able to get shit that I say. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not gonna have a problem hanging with me because we gonna watch the game on Sunday.
Now
you know what I'm saying? We gonna kick it. We gonna kick it somewhere. We gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, what you want to do, man? You want to kick it somewhere? You want to go to what you trying to do? Like, I'm down. He ain't gonna have no problem hanging with me. You know, the only thing dudes had a problem with is I was the woman they want, but I wasn't in the package they wanted.
Yeah, exactly. I keep telling people.
Speak to back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. That was my third when I went back. I went back for college. Yeah. Oh,
I was like, you made that reference. I was like, my girl.
All right. Who's next? Who's next? If you guys, who wants to speak next?
Cat? You
can if you want to. If you want to, Cats.
I was gonna say, can we repeat the question really quick so that way I can reformulate my answer while Katz is speaking? Because I don't remember.
Go ahead, Sarah. Reformulate the question.
The question was, what do you find physically and mentally attractive in a man?
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so physically, I do not have a preference. Although, like, in terms of height, I have dated mostly guys my height.
Mm-hmm.
And
above.
Slow down.
It's recorded, Officer Charles. You can hit the playback.
Yeah.
I forgot.
And personality-wise, I agree with Kendra. I do need a guy who's smarter than me, and I really, really like guys who are funny. I love funny guys. So, short list, but that's what I look for.
I love Katz's answers. They're always so simple. Like
she's only 23. That's why.
Yeah.
True.
Well, God damn, I'm getting out the scrolls of the Torah and every damn thing.
All you needed was a post-it note, huh?
I mean, I had the Pharisees waiting at the house. That was giving me advice.
You probably had the Enigma machine to decode the code, huh?
Wow. Wow. The Fortran programmer from the IBM.
And I had to, I got favors from the army. I just had to like turn in just now just to break.
The cryptologist from the NSA.
Wow.
Yeah. Go ahead, Classic. Jump in. All right.
Okay.
Buckle up, folks. Here we go.
Oh my God, BGS. Why do you do this to me? Okay. So as far as physically, like he has to be taller than me. And preferably taller than me in heels. Like if I'm wearing heels and you're not like we're eye to eye, I still find it a little bit weird. So like I think like for me, kind of the probably like 5'10" is gonna be like my height shortness requirement. Other than that, I don't see like as far as physicality goes, the thing is on a lot of like I really like man's forearms. I know this sounds weird, but I do. I like a man's forearms. I like a man who has manly forearms. And I like a man who has, okay, I don't know what you would call this. So it's like, you have the mustache and you have like the little like goatee and then you have like kind of like the lines of like, that attach the mustache to the goatee. Like that whole, yeah, okay, I like that as facial hair on a man. I really, really like that. So yeah, but like as far as like other things, like I don't really care on a physical level so much. For me, and I like dark-skinned men. I prefer dark-skinned men. I mean, I've dated men from all over, but I prefer dark-skinned men. And as far as though for me, it's more of the mental thing. So I think right off the bat, like someone who comes to me with like smooth and slick and like that type of thing they're not going to get very far. I'm not really impressed by that. I prefer someone who's witty and clever to catch me off guard and say something kind of, in the moment, obviously about something and like either get me like to kind of be like, or like, to like giggle at something, whatever, despite myself. So someone who can do something like that. I don't need you to be like constantly funny or anything like that. But I do need someone, well, because the thing is that, so like my sense of humor is very sarcastic. It's not very obvious humor. So someone who's really into obvious humor, for example, wouldn't work for me. I do really like someone who can take sarcasm well because I'm a very sarcastic person. And as far as like the mentality, like it's like someone who vibes with me, someone who's on the same level as me as far as a vibe. So it's more about, it's not very specific things. Like, I've dated people who are exactly like me. And then my husband is nothing like me on so many different levels, but there's a vibe about us. And it's like that vibe between us, like, yeah, it was really and truly, at the beginning, there was that whole primal, thing with his man spoke to my woman kind of thing.
Yes.
But
all right, we're gonna be breaking out
okay,
heavyweights in a minute.
I'm sorry.
There's some good moments especially at the very beginning when he was trying to get me. There's some good moments. Which is funny though, because I know everyone's thinking about actual sex, but I'm not talking about actual sex. It was like random things, like we'd be at like a bar or something like that, and like we'd be on the patio and everyone would go in, and suddenly he would like bend me over the table and be like, "What are you doing? Like we're in public." But as much as I'm saying that, I'm not actually moving him, right? Like I'm pretending I'm moving him, but I'm not really, because it's like hot, like that, because it's so like animalistic. Like anytime like someone's back was turned for 5 seconds, he was up on me, and I was like, "Stop, come on, I'm not PDA," but
stop.
Yeah, stop. Yeah, like that shit, right?
Please don't stop.
Yeah, stop.
Please don't stop. Please don't.
Yeah, but exactly. Yeah, that's exactly where we're at. But what it came,
This
what
is prior to me too, huh?
obviously. But what it would more come down to is like, again, how do we vibe in like regular everyday things? I mean, that's great and everything, right? But I mean, that's not going to carry like a life. So it was more about like, like the fact that we had similar just thoughts on things. Like, for example, like, we like being out until the birds were chirping in the morning to come home, and we like to sit around in someone's like garage politicking. We like to go to dive bars, and didn't need anything special. We didn't need like some big we didn't need like, there's just certain things we didn't need that, we were the same. So I think like for me, like that's what I look for. I look for a vibe between me and that person. The closer that vibe is, like, I mean, I have had experiences where like literally me and that person, that guy, like we were literally, we finished each other's sentences. We think the same, we like the same things. And it's like intoxicating. Because it's like literally like I feel like I don't even have to speak eventually, like because he can think my thoughts, and he really can, and he just inherently gets me and inherently understands me. And ultimately at the end of the day, I never ended up being like with those guys. And like I've only met two in my life. But like I think originally that's kind of what I wanted. But I think life happened, and a lot of life experiences happened. With the first guy, he was still good. He was in his good life, and I was in the good life, and then a whole bunch of bad shit happened. So he didn't get me anymore. And you can't explain certain parts of life to someone. And I think that's the thing too with me and my husband. There's just certain parts of life about, maybe street life and like hood life or whatever. He doesn't have to explain to me. I don't have to explain to him. He can tell me stories. I'm not going to go, oh my God, and vice versa and whatever, like, shit like that. It's like there's an understanding there that I think is bigger and greater, despite the fact that we seem very different. So yeah, that's kind of, for me at least, it's not a specific thing, a specific whatever. It's more about my vibe with that person, and this is me specifically,
Okay, I'm going to talk to you ladies a little bit later tonight or tomorrow.
All right. Nighty night.
Okay. Thank you.
Good night.
Brother Xavier be dropping in after Charles drop off.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any other questions on
the super chat? Let me see.
Yes.
Okay. Where's the next one? Okay. This is from Andrew Wilkins. This was a while back. It says, yes, there are bad guys in other races, but non-black women are smart enough to just date those men when they're young, but marry the nerd or real intelligent alpha males by late 20s or early 30s. If that makes sense.
We sure about that? It's a lot of bubbles. It's a lot of bubbles and rednecks, so they got a lot of women.
But I think he's speaking to the educated class more than his lower class.
Yeah, I think that's true with rich people, not necessarily like your poor white people.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is there is a class system in with white people where it doesn't necessarily exist the same way with black folks. Whether for better or worse, black folks are basically, all the classes are kind of like smashed into one bubble, which causes that kind of strife. Whereas white people don't necessarily have the same thing. So, Bubba in the trailer park and the trailer with the part, the what they call a lot lizard, and the trailer park girls kind of stay in their lane. They don't often cross over. Whereas basically you're gonna see Dexter or Dexter's gonna be chasing Muffy. He's not gonna be chasing what's her name down there.
Miss Ann.
Miss Ann. Well, Miss Ann is up there. Miss Ann is like married like a Trump or somebody like that. That's Miss Ann, the mistress of the house. That you would that your grandmother probably worked for. Well, probably worked for her mother. So that's Miss Ann. But I'm talking about the trailer park girl. He's not going to be chasing Muffy or Misty down there in the trailer park, he gonna stay in his lane because his mama gonna get on him. And he gonna dating white trash. Whereas in the black community, you can have a dude that's a millionaire or a dude that come from a millionaire family. Keisha got a fat ass and big titties. He's gonna go for it just like he would a Tiffany. It's gonna be the same thing. So Keisha and Tiffany are basically almost equal in the eyes of black men. So which doesn't necessarily happen in other races or other ethnicities. They're a little bit more
that's true.
classes. They're more about class than anything else. Whereas the class is kind of mixed in the black community.
Yeah.
But then I still don't know if the statement makes any sense because in the white community, the equivalent of Pookie and Ray Ray is also the jock. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, the jock could be the guy in high school, or he's the Tom Brady's of the world.
Oh, it works. Okay, it works a little different. Normally, the Pookie and Ray Rays of the white communities are the Beavis and Buttheads. The stoner, yeah, the be so. In other words, in white community, if you ever went to a white school or been in a white area or white suburb,
like them kids with the long hair and they come to school high.
Come to school high, and then you could tell a Pookie Ray or a lower class white dude by his hair, because a lower class white girl, lower class white dude's hair is always going to look a little dirty because they don't have the products or to keep themselves up. Say like a upper class white dude. When I went to school with white kids, I went to school with upper middle class and rich white kids, and their hair was always clean. They always smelled clean. You could tell the difference. Like when my
wet dogs.
Excuse me? Huh? Excuse me?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So when my ex actually moved the kids out to Lancaster, which is more like a mixed community, there was it's also next to like a lower class like trailer park. They used to call them trailer park kids, and you instantly notice the difference because their hair doesn't look the same, they don't smell the same. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes along with them. So basically, white you can tell a lower class white guy like 10 steps before you get to him, where you can't tell that with a black person because we don't exhibit the same kind of physical traits that they do. Okay, we don't look the same. We don't act the same. So basically, a poor black dude or a poor black person, black female, is going to look better than a poor white person, because a poor white person, man, it takes for whatever reason, it takes a whole lot to upkeep a white body. Because if they don't use certain hair products, skin products, right kind of deodorant or soap or something like that, you can. I mean, I'm being honest. I remember.
BGS. It's still funny.
Hey, BGS, real quick before you get into that.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to just say, because it's like East Coast time, and my sons will be up in a few hours.
Give your info out, Rom, if you want to do that, or type something in the chat in the chat so they can actually go to your website.
Okay.
Everybody here should already know you, so I don't, anybody that's follows.
Yeah, I'll just type something in. Yeah, if y'all want to contact me, just wait a minute, contact. I'm putting something in the chat.
Yeah, so just hit his link and go to his page. And go to his channel, and all his info is right there on his channel. So you go to
so there you go. So I'll check y'all out. Hopefully y'all gone by the time I get back up, because I only sleep for a few hours. So
All right. Thank you for coming by. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Did you have to turn down a couple invitations to be with us, man?
Oh, everybody's always on standby. So we
hey,
I know that's right.
My nigga.
If you don't get no business.
We're good.
When you pass.
So The camera isn't panning over to everything in the place, so I'll leave it at that. So anyway,
I caught that.
Yeah. Remember, see, I put up a picture a couple times for a reason, so you know. Just saying.
See, Officer Charles, that's the way you do things, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway.
All right.
Let me get out of here. I'll talk to y'all later.
I appreciate it,
All
Ron.
right, have a good night. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Hey,
Thank
thank
you.
Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, brother.
Good night.
Yeah, let me hit that button. If I get that
Good
button.
night, sir.
Good night. Good night. If I can get that button. Okay, there we go. All right. See y'all later.
All right.
All right.
Now you know why I call him the field master.